Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Happy November. Halloween is done, and we are in the throes of fall, and it is late night league time. My name is JC Yeso McDonough, and I'm joined by my very good friend James Latman as we kick off week number 6 of Late Night League. Welcome back, buddy.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
It is honestly a very exciting time of year as we have hit double points. The next 2 weeks are our final weeks of the regular season as our teams all across the country duke it out to see who will represent in the Season 4 finals. We'll have your standings for you in just a moment here, but it's a tight race at the top of the West.
Very tight.
And over in the Central, Night Raid feeling pretty comfortable at the top over there. We've got 10 teams enter tonight, so it will be a bloody battle for 20 points at the top of the standings here. You can see Blanket Boys and Upper Moon just a point separating our top teams in the West.
Yeah, this is... I don't think I've ever seen it this close before. It's really exciting to see, especially when you see two teams that are this evenly matched, especially from the matches that we saw last week.
And one thing we're going to have to keep track of, I want to remind everybody how things shook out last season. Remember, AHS Black was near the bottom of the standings going into Week 6, and then they rattled off 2 wins in a row. In Weeks 6 and 7, grabbed 40 points in just a 7-day span and bought themselves a ticket to the Season 3 finals, where they, again, went down early, down 0-2, and then reverse swept for the victory. So, you can't look at these teams like Fruitcake or OCC and underestimate them, because when it gets to double points time, anything can happen. So Blanket Boys and Upper Moon really cannot rest on their laurels at this part of the season. They need to secure as many points as possible, make sure that they lock up that spot in the finals, because, nothing is guaranteed here at the end of the season.
Yeah, and that's something that I really enjoy about this tournament format, is that these top teams, typically when you see a lead like this in most tournaments, you'd think like, all right, we've got it in the bag. We don't have to show up for the next few weeks. We've already accumulated all the points we need. But not in this tournament.
No.
And especially from what we saw last season, there can totally be a last-minute upset all the way up to win it all. So that's something that's really exciting about this tournament. I'm really looking forward to see if we have another story like that.
Yeah, we'll keep track of how the standings shake up here over the next week. Make sure to keep tabs on that, folks, and we will find out who will represent their respective regions in the finals. Remember, 2 weeks from today, we will have our 2 top teams face off in a best-of-5. We'll have me and Latman here, and maybe, a special guest to join us. Should be a good time for that best-of-5. I'm certainly excited for it. Obviously, in Worlds time, League is, I'll take all I can get. You guys can give me that just straight into my veins. I will take all of it.
League IV?
Yeah. I'll take it. I mean, semifinals this weekend was phenomenal. We had 2 great matches. The, LPL brawl with Invictus Gaming going up against Fun Plus Phoenix, and then we had the rematch of SKT G2, and it was honestly a really interesting weekend.
Yeah. I once again didn't really get a chance to see as many of the games as I would have liked to, but G2 in the finals, another year with a European team in the finals, 2 years in a row. I think at this point it's safe to say that the gap between Korea and the West in League of Legends definitely has closed, and I think that's something that's really exciting.
Well, and it's really created this really interesting kind of 3-horse race where you have Korea, China, and the LEC all at the top here of the League of Legends scene, and there's, from what we've seen, a pretty significant gap then between them and the other major regions. You look at NA, the LMS that actually is no more. They will be kind of combining down there with kind of all those that major kind of Oceanic League. So it's really interesting to see how this has developed, because for so many years, right, it was Korea's up here, everybody else is way down here. The LMS could take wins off of them in things like the group stage, but they really couldn't compete when it came to best-of-5s. And now there's just been such a drastic shift in the scene over the last 2 years. And you mentioned that we get 2 years in a row where we get a Western team, specifically a European team in the final. And actually, it is, again, for the second year in a row, LEC versus LPL. Now we get
Hmm.
Fun Plus Phoenix, and a fun storyline that was actually mentioned on the broadcast over the weekend is this is really the first time in League of Legends history that we've seen an LPL 1 seed actually perform to expectation. The
Really?
famous one that's always talked about is LGD failing out, I think it was 2015, in the group stages where they absolutely bombed out. And historically, LPL top seeds have not been able to reach the heights that they were supposed to. RNG was supposed to be a finalist last year. They were the favorite coming into the tournament.
That's true.
They lose in the first round to G2,
Yeah.
and then it was the third seed, IG, last season from the LPL that actually ended up going on to win it. So it's interesting that we've had an LPL winner, an LPL world champion, but this is the first time that we've seen a number one seed from China go to the top and perform to expectations. And now we'll have to see, hey, can they take down the Titans in G2? It's going to be a tough task, but that's a pretty crazy team coming from China.
Yeah, and I think it's what's even more incredible is the way that they're doing it. Like they're not doing it playing, meta compositions at all. Doing B playing champions that are just like, you don't see them on any other team. Rumble
Sure.
mid, Nautilus mid. I think seen them play Sound as well.
Yeah.
These are just like it just goes completely against all convention of what you would expect from a team that would not only make it to the finals, but that would be representing their region making it to the finals. Typically, you see these teams that represent their region to be trendsetters, to be teams that lead the meta and really stick to the meta and execute it in a flawless manner. And I'm really happy to see that not only is LPL's team, the big one team from LPL, is a team that doesn't do that, but G2 doesn't really do that as well. And I think it's really telling to see that, like, in these later seasons of League of Legends, the game is starting to become so figured out at a strategic level that there might be more and more value in fighting against the meta and instead just finding what your own team strengths are and being able to execute those strengths at the highest level.
Yeah, diversity of style is definitely showing up a ton in professional League of Legends right now, and it's interesting too because FPX still plays LPL League of Legends really well, and it's
Hmm.
always been talked about, right? The LPL, great scaling and team fighting teams, right? You go to those 5v5s and they can, out team fight almost any team in the world. That's
Yeah.
just the Chinese style. And FPX still does that. If you go back and watch their series against IG from this past weekend, they did that a lot in those games. Went late with IG and still beat them in team fights. But their early games just look so much more different. Doinby does not play the standard style that you see in star mid laners in League of Legends. And it's really interesting. And I think it brings to the table for FPX what G2 does as well, and it's just a diversity of styles.
Yeah.
G2, when you look at that team, they can win with almost any draft. You can play around any lane, you can play early, mid, or late, you can team fight, you can win through skirmishing, and it's really cool because it sets up this kind of storyline for a series where you're like, how do they want to attack the other team?
Yeah,
It's not necessarily
exactly.
like we're coming in to play G2 League of Legends. They're coming in to, as it was mentioned on the broadcast, we're going to download our opponent, figure out what can beat them, and we can do it because our players are that talented. Our coaching staff is that good to set our players up to succeed. So it's going to be a really fun matchup to watch this coming weekend. And definitely, I think one of the most hyped World Finals we've had in years. I mean, we got to a point where in years past a lot of times there's kind of teams that get to the semifinals where you're like, they got a super easy draw, do they
Yeah.
really belong in the
Yeah,
top
that's
four?
happening a lot of years in a row.
But you look at the top four teams we got this year. We got the top seed from the LPL, the the defending world champion. We
Hmm.
got the LCK1 seed and SKT, the most historic team in the world, and then the what people believe to be the pound for pound best team in the world and the MSI champion in G2. So it was just like, this is an absolutely insane draw, and it
Yeah.
sets up for a super hype final that I could not be more hyped for. It's going to be an absolute blast to watch.
Yeah, and not only was it such a stacked quarterfinals or semifinals bracket for the tournament, but there's just so many storylines. Like,
Yeah.
aside from the storyline that you have these powerhouse teams from each region, but the idea that this is essentially the Western League of Legends' chance to prove that last year was not a fluke. That the fact that Fnatic was able to get to the top two in the world was not something that was just only going to happen 1 year and then not happen again for a few more years. And for the dynamic that Asian teams would once again, claim total control over international League of Legends play. So I'm just really happy to see that. And like you mentioned, this is definitely one of the most hype finals that I've seen personally as a viewer in like maybe the last half a decade.
Yeah.
Because this is one of the first times I'm going into a finals, and I actually don't really know what champions are they really going to pull out?
Right.
Like, not only are these two teams that they probably will have a lot to gain by surprising the other team in terms of draft, but just fundamentally, like stylistically, these two teams bring out picks that you don't see any other team execute or any other team play. Not only in terms of how or what they're picking, but when they pick it in the draft, how they want to execute these picks, how they play around these picks. Like you mentioned, these are teams that their players are good enough that they can play mid, early, or late game. They can sacrifice a lane to just about no consequence going into the late game. That's a very rare thing to see in international level play. That's something that you might see in domestic levels of play, but internationally, that's a very hard thing to do. And both of these teams can do it, and that's something that's really awesome to see as a spectator, as someone who's played the game before competitively. And for that, I'm really excited to watch this series.
Yeah, and it has been the world of flex picks too, which makes draft even more interesting because you never know what you're going to get, and we'll see how these teams can attack each other in Champion Select. It's definitely something we're going to be talking about a ton in week number 7 when we return for our final week of the regular season. We're going to want to talk just all day about that World Finals, so we will definitely break that down a lot more a week from now, and we may touch on it a little bit more tonight, but we are here for Late Night League, and we've got our top teams getting ready to match up here. Again, 20 points on the line. Thank you to Big Boy Gaming, actually, in Twitch chat. If you guys want to check out the bracket, hit ! bracket in Twitch chat. You can bring up the little link to our challenge bracket and see how teams are setting up. We should be in game here very soon. Thank you so much for everybody bearing with us. You may have seen the lower third come up just a few moments ago, but do want to remind you guys that if you need any more information about Late Night League, about Fortnite Frenzy, or any of the other things we're doing here at Esports Arena, make sure to hit that link right down there, esportsarena.com/Walmart. You can see any of the information you could possibly need about our leagues, other events we're doing, and I hope you guys, come out sometime soon if you haven't done it before. It's an absolute pleasure to get to meet and work with the local scenes and all of you guys who are so passionate about these games. I absolutely enjoy doing it every day and hope we can, meet some more of you guys. If you're checking out the streams and maybe you aren't sure, come check it out. Come play. If you're not even just playing in a tournament, come sit down. Just get a day pass. Come play on the PCs. Come participate in some local fighting game tournaments. Remember, we got Wednesday night fights, which is absolutely huge and an absolute blast to be a part of that real grassroots fighting game scene. So head over to that link, check it out, come see it for yourself. And also, if you guys are in Kansas City or Nashville, go check out our new locations. If you guys didn't see that, check us out on Twitter. We actually put out an announcement. We're opening 2 new locations this month. So go check out that information in the Kansas City and Nashville areas. We're super excited to be coming to more communities, getting to reach out to more of you guys all across the country. So definitely super hyped for that, and hope those local scenes are as excited as we are, because I think it's going to be really, really cool. Everybody at Esports Arena, all our staff have been putting in an insane amount of work to get those ready for you guys. Really just want everyone to have a great experience at these new locations, so make sure to check out that information if you are in those areas. Before we get into our first game, let's have a little bit of fun tonight. I want to go back to our bets this week.
The loser comes back for redemption.
And I lost on Friday too. I did Fortnite with Chicken Cup. Shout out to my man Chicken Cup. I don't know if you're watching tonight, but it was a blast.
That's his name, Chicken Cup?
Yeah, that's his tag, Chicken Cup.
That's a really good tag.
Yeah. Make sure to follow him on Twitter. He's got some funny content out there. But we did Fortnite a week ago, and he absolutely smoked me in bets.
How bad?
I think I lost 3-0 on the night, and I wasn't even close at any point. So I'm looking for redemption, and I want you guys in chat to help me out tonight. So we're gonna do some bets here throughout the night, and I may ask for your guys' input. And
chat-driven bets?
What?
Chat-driven bets?
I don't know necessarily chat-driven, but I may ask for a little input. What do you guys think I should go for? When we do get our first matchup, how about for our first matchup, we're going to go combined kills.
Combined kills?
Combined kills for the game. That's what we're going to go for. So that's what it's going to be. When we get that first matchup, we'll have a better idea because, guessing Bloody is honestly a pretty safe bet with Late Night League. We talk
Yeah.
about it a lot, but these teams love to skirmish. They love to fight, love to get their hands dirty. So that's a safe bet, but we'll see kind of when we get those matchups, who we're looking at. I'm hoping we get a matchup tonight between our top teams in the West, Blanket Boys and Upper Moons, because that matchup has delivered every time we've seen it.
Yeah,
These
it
teams are
has.
so tight, and it's super, super fun to watch. We're getting
Wait, what was that team name? Wait, yeah, that's actually there. Yeah, no, we heard you the first time.
Okay, so you guys can't hear production right now, but they just let us know what the next matchup will be. And it's going to be TDS. Make sure you use exclamation point bracket in chat if you guys want to see what we're talking about. It's going to be TDS versus Tyler One's armpit hair. Shout out for that team name there.
Shout out to shaving products and
Yeah,
antiperspirant
are we
armpit
sponsored
spray.
by
Bars.
Gillette maybe?
Are we?
Maybe we need to
around.
work that one out.
Doesn't look
Shout
like
out to Old Spice. Yeah, right. I'm on a horse.
Yeah?
Where's that guy when you need him? You just come in riding with his sweater around.
I haven't
His
seen one of
neck.
those in like the last year.
Yeah, I think
They're usually like all over the place.
they've the name is singular. Oh, it's armpit hair. One
One
one single
hair.
one single one. All right. Well,
Thank you,
we'll
10 cats.
reach out to Tyler. Somebody needs to somebody please in chat like clip that and tweet it out to Tyler. Like I would love for him to see that. I think he just finished streaming, so he's got nothing to do right now. He can check Twitter. Somebody either screenshot that or or clip it
I wonder
and
if he'd be
please
proud
tweet it to him.
or if he'd be like, embarrassed, like exposed. Like now,
He's
now
like,
the
how
world
did you
knows
guys know?
He has
I don't
one
know,
armpit.
he wears tank tops all the time, so like I don't think he would be surprised if someone saw it.
Saw it being his
Yeah,
one
no,
armpit
it's
hair
singular.
instead of
Yeah,
them.
yeah. It's very important to note. Very important. We are into champion select, folks. Here, TDS on the blue side, Tyler One's armpit hair on the red side. So, champion select. Let's talk about bans here. Fiora and Zaya off the board for TDS. I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep composure. You're saying Tyler One's armpit hair throughout
Tyler One's
this cast.
armpit hair bans Thrash and Ring.
Gare in the last ban here for TDS, and waiting for our final ban of the first phase. Difficult to talk about expectations in terms of champion select in tournaments like this, just because when you aren't necessarily at the pinnacle, it's so difficult to predict what teams want to do. Teams tend to go more towards either OPs or comfort picks. It really seems to be the focus for a lot of teams, so it's going to be a
Blind pick,
Malphite
Malphite.
first pick. That's super interesting. A little flexible, we
Jungler
have to
top.
say, because people have thrown it to support recently and
Oh,
have
yeah.
played it in the jungle. Interesting that we had Chow Jungle steal it away when we were supposed to get the full AP Malphite last week, and he
Yeah,
stole it away from his
That was
top
pretty
laner.
funny. Here we see the Leona pick. So if Malphite is support, Leona will absolutely smash the Malphite support. But it was a blind Leona into Morgana, which I was just about to mention.
There you go.
So already, I would say TDS absolutely is way ahead in the draft, just because of how hard Morgana can shut down a Leona. The Vayne pick is... So there's two avenues of thought here. Because you have such a hard support counter pick matchup, you might feel okay with blind
Yeah.
picking the Vayne. But I don't necessarily agree with that. Personally, I would be like, yeah, we already had the support matchup won really hard. Let's just pick an AD carry that isn't very counterable,
Yeah.
and we'll have a lane to play around the entire early game, mid game. Preferably, if that AD carry is one that scales well, then you have a pretty good chance of winning the game just off of your brawling draft alone. But now with the Morgana Vayne, there's a little bit of Tyler One's armpit hair can salvage bot lane. I feel really weird saying that. Here we see Rise got Rise. Always happy to see Rise getting Rise. I think that's like this might be the second or third time I've seen him get that champion.
Yeah.
He doesn't really let down with that champion, although laning phase might be a little choppy just because Rise isn't really the lane bully that he once was. He's more of a if he gets the farm down in mid game, late game, he'll be a real powerhouse. Last thing that I want to point out, we did see Morgana get picked already, but one thing that I'm really happy to see is Thresh bans in this tournament. In the last few weeks I've been casting especially, most if not all of the Thresh players I've been watching absolutely do know how to use Thresh to his maximum potential in the laning phase and get some really great leads off of the champion pick. So I'm really happy to see Thresh banned, and Veigar is another champion that's been doing really, really well in this tournament.
The one interesting thing too is I actually love the top lane pick from Tyler One's armpit hair here. You already see the Malphite locked in, and Malphite typically loves AD matchups on the top side. He can itemize so heavily in the armor, which not only benefits him in the matchup, but obviously helps his personal scaling just with his kit. And they take the Mundo, which makes Malphite's job just a little bit more difficult. It's kind of it's like the reverse of a Mundo into an AD matchup. He wants to build so much magic resist. It's so integral to his kit. So I think the Mundo is honestly feeling great about this top side right now. Should feel super safe in the laning phase. Shouldn't really have any issues. And the Malphite, while he shouldn't be under too much kill threat in the laning phase, it just makes things more difficult
Okay,
from a
what the
build
heck
path.
is this?
Okay, so this is I would assume
Vayne
And-
top,
no Warwick jungle, Ezreal mid. I feel like.
Malphite mid, Vayne top, Ezreal Morgana bottom. I really want
I
to see
mean,
Vayne
we
top.
can really galaxy. I mean, we've seen we saw an Ashe top a week ago,
Yeah.
so it's certainly possible. If I was a betting man, I'd say it's Ezreal mid, Vayne bottom, but we'll see here. Holding on to the Malphite top side, they could. And the interesting thing here too is you were talking about the bottom lane matchup. They could put the Ezreal down there for that kind of safer matchup into the Leona. I don't think they're going to do it. They currently have the
Yeah.
Vayne down there, so. But thoughts on the misfortune here, because you already knew a Malphite was selected, and now it only gets a little worse with the
Yeah.
Warwick. Now you've got two options to dive that backline, and it's going to be difficult for Bubbles to get like a fully channeled bullet time if the Malphite is anywhere near her.
Yeah, that's something I wanted to mention as soon as I saw the pick was that, I mean, picking Misfortune into Malphite in general is just not really a good move. Not only is his ult like something that you're always going to have to be on the lookout for, you don't really have a very great way of avoiding it without flashing. But even if you don't end up getting Malphite ulted, your bullet time, let's see, Ezreal, it's not really going to do much against him. He's going to eat right out of it. Morgana, Vayne, pretty decent targets, but Warwick and Malphite, absolutely terrible targets for a bullet time.
Yeah.
So this is actually a pretty rough comp to be playing against with a Misfortune.
Oh,
And she doesn't have a really great setup either.
and we do have to note the Mundo actually didn't go top.
Yeah, Mundo jungle.
They instead go Mundo jungle, draft the Renekton. So I think TDS is actually feeling a little bit better. They really didn't get punished for the blind pick Malphite top. Obviously, Renekton is a lane bully and can kind of trade aggressively into the Malphite, but he can he's more than happy to build the early armor here. And he should be a little safer in the laning phase here. We'll just have to see how aggressively Motormouth wants to play on this Renekton.
Yeah. Mundo actually is a pretty decent champion in the sense that if Motormouth is able to get really strong HP leads throughout the early game, Mundo does a really great job of diving from level 6 and onwards. So one pretty available early game that I've seen out of Tyler and Zarpa here, in fact probably their most efficient early game, is to just dive the Malphite over and over with Renekton Mundo. Because you don't really have a very great chance of killing the Ezreal in mid lane, and you have a Leona against a Morgana at bot lane. Probably no chance of a kill happening there. So because of that, the Renekton pick makes some sense to me. Just because if he's a really great Renekton pilot, then he has a lot of potential to just dive that lane over and over with his jungler.
The one interesting thing, though, is you talk about diving level 6 and onward, and a Malphite is no slouch in dealing with dives. Once he gets access to the unstoppable force, you may be able to get in and use the W stun from the Renekton initially, but as soon as he comes out of the stun, you're going to get double ulted, and you're both melee range, so it's not like he's going to have any issue getting the knock up onto both of you. So the Malphite, if you have to wait till level 6, I feel like you're probably wasting your time trying to dive him. So it's this really weird catch-22 where you want to wait for the Mundo ultimate, so he's really, really difficult to kill in the dive. But if you wait until the Malphite has his ultimate, then it's just going to be that much harder to kill him. So we'll have to see kind of what the decisions are there. It would be really good if actually they could, if Tyler Wins Armpit Hair could get an early lead and then try and roam the Leona up and kind of go for that 3-man dive, I think that would make things a little bit easier on them and hopefully take them down. But it's not going to be simple execution on these dives trying to deal with the Malphite.
Yeah, especially with the Misfortune bot lane. That's not
Yeah.
really the bot laner you want to leave alone at bottom.
Nope.
She definitely suffers from getting zoned off the wave and getting dove. She's not a champion that can do well falling behind in farm at all, especially against a Vayne. I do see that Malphite, once he does finish like a core item, 1.5 core items, he's definitely pretty good at avoiding dives himself. But before that point, I would actually argue that Malphite's definitely a very diveable champion. Just because if you force him to ult away to avoid the dive, you've already succeeded. He's now not a champion for the next minute and like 30 seconds. Renekton will be able to get tons of tower plating damage. And that's assuming that the Renekton is unable to get an HP lead, which we should assume should happen. That should be the reason that he picked Renekton into a Malphite, is because he's confident that he's a good enough player with Renekton in the laning phase to get the HP lead. But we'll see what happens.
I think that's an interesting point you make too, is that if you can force out the ultimate in a good trade, right? You catch the Malphite maybe pushing the lane, or the lane's in kind of a neutral state, and you can get him and get that HP lead, and especially if you can force a defensive ultimate and then set up for the dive, I think that is huge. But if the Malphite plays safe enough and just buys his time and is patient, he should hopefully be able to deal with any dives, but it is heavily, I think, on the Renekton. How aggressively does he play? Can he win the trades and get that HP lead? And I think that definitely does set them up for success if they really want to punish the Malphite. I'm also really interested to see the Rise into Ezreal matchup. We don't see a lot of Ezreal's,
that at all.
you know, in general, because the meta has been so consistently dominated by Xayah Kaisa. He has been kind of that third option in the bottom lane, but now he's in the mid lane here.
Tyler Wazarpic, get out of your fountain.
By himself.
Get out of your fountain. There's 2 of them sitting in fountain. I'm so triggered.
Come on, guys.
TDS is invading too. Imagine if Tyler One's armpit hair had 5 people here with Mundo level 1.
This could actually be really bad. TDS should be able to get at least some solid vision here before the rest of the team comes out. They're going to drop a ward and get good vision on Tyler One Armpit Hair's blue side. It's going to be so difficult.
And an auto. Good auto. But yeah, one thing, I mean, I always hate seeing that when people are just sitting AFK level 1 in 5's play, especially in a game like this, because
they're on their way.
Yeah, well, now they are. Like, after the invade is done and they're on the other side of the map. But the idea is, so typically you look at this on paper, you see the Morgana, and you're like, oh, they're going to go for level 1, we should be afraid. But Mundo happens to be one of the best level 1s in the game. Misfortune starting E level 1, pretty freaking good. W level 1, even better. Leona level 1, not bad. Renekton level 1, great. Rise level 1, it's whatever. But the idea is they have a strong level 1. They definitely have a strong enough level 1 that they could have beat TDS's level 1. And you know TDS will go for it because they have a Morgana. So that could have been a great opportunity to stack 5 into a bush and pick that level 1 fight. Instead, they were AFK in Fountain. But, you know, these things happen.
The one good thing that happened for Tyler One's Armpit Hair is at least they invade the blue side and steal away the blue here from Boom Trains. The one thing is he has information on that, so we're just going to see some vertical jungling here. Daimlerge took a little bit of damage walking into that blue buff, but did get the ward down to make sure that his jungler had the information he needed. So good response here from Boom Trains. Takes his red, immediately goes up to the enemy blue buff, and we'll clear that one out.
Yeah, that's a sign that Tyler One's Armpit Hair is a little bit more well-versed with what to do with in these level 1 split jungle scenarios.
Ooh.
Because, yeah, that was a nasty binding.
That was clean.
Yeah, not bad at all. But I did want to say, so TDS seems to have a better, no, Tyler One's Armpit Hair seems to have a better idea of how to play these level 1 situations where you cross-map jungling. Because getting that ward on the blue buff, on where the enemy jungler is going to be counter jungling, is pretty huge. It allows an opportunity where if the enemy bot lane has a lane that can get prio, if they just push like hell in the first minion wave, they can collapse on the blue buff before the enemy jungler is done counter jungling on the other side of the map, and they can really ruin his jungle path. And in this game with the Misfortune into Vayne, yeah, it's range versus support matchup, but you should expect the Misfortune to at least be able to put pressure on the minion wave. So this would have been a game where if I... Oh, that is... Oh, you're just going to walk right into that.
Flash away, but the first blood is still going to go over to aid to press Korean onto the Vayne. So a great start here for TDS as all the bindings are landing for Duck, and Bubbles will go down here. Spending both summoner spells as well, still not able to escape.
Yeah, I'm gonna be hard. I'm gonna be critical about that. You know,
That man is tilted, guys.
Morgana walked right into the bush right in front of you. You're gonna walk right into the bush as well. You can't do that, man. You gotta respect the Morgana. Oh, Leona going in.
Yeah, Duck going to take a little bit of damage here, but able to turn around the binding, and thanks to the W on the Leona, able to reduce the damage there, and actually we're going to get a little bit of a jungle duel. Boom Train's looking great right now. It's actually going to steal away the double buffs and get the solo kill onto Tupapi Churro.
So I'm sure a lot of you who are watching were wondering before this game, you know, who wins the level 1 head-to-head between Warwick and Mundo if they find each other in a skirmish?
I was.
Now you know. I was wondering too. I was actually genuinely curious. You know, you would expect it to probably be the Warwick, but Mundo's got a really strong headbutt, and now we see that Warwick's bite is indeed stronger. I had no idea, but now I do.
You know, I mean, and Warwick is a champion that we really haven't seen in the meta in a couple of years here. Mundo has been kind of on the periphery over the last 12 months, but
here and there,
this time, and he's going to lose that 1v1. So great early start here for TDS. They're up almost 2,000 gold right now, and pressuring pretty heavily in the bottom lane is Duck on point with the binding so far this game, and TDS feeling pretty good. And one thing to note as well, we can pull up the CS numbers here, but Daimlerge appears to be holding his own in the top lane for now. Motormouth up 11 CS, which is not great, but Daimlerge maintaining his health bar right now and just trying not to lose too much pressure on the top side. Kind of happy to farm near his tower and just keep the Renekton pushed up in this lane.
Yeah, it's a good start overall for TDS thus far. Here we see the junglers are meeting again in the river. Looks like Warwick is going to zone off, but he didn't get a chance to deny the Scuttle Crab. I did want to point out that the Mundo jungle, typically you do not want to meet the enemy jungler at all until level 6 or 7. Even then, you're more focused on just showing up in a lane and being like, oh, I'm here for the dive. You didn't see me for the last 5 minutes, but I'm here now and you're dead. For him to have been able to do that, since Leona really going in, a whole screen ahead.
Aggression here from Spam Goose, but he is just going to get caught by the binding here. So much damage from a depressed screen. Can he tumble and go for the condemn? He isn't going to go for it. Still a lot of damage. Flashes in, and Duck's going to take the kill there. Spam Goose falls. The binding will land onto the Misfortune. Again, low health bars.
This man just does not miss.
Yeah,
he's landing. He really is landing like every binding. It's pretty nice to see. And just to remind you, he did have Thresh banned against him. So later on in the tournament, you know, we're seeing this kind of skill shot accuracy on his Morgana. I can only wonder how his Thresh is looking. Gilly, man, you better watch yourself.
Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Tennoman holding his own in this matchup, pretty even in CS, and Rise with the early Sapphire Crystal means he gets a pretty quick tier start and can start stacking that one up. Meanwhile, TDS, with that kill in the bottom lane, immediately rotate up to take the Ocean Drake with the help of Boom Trains here. That one's secured, and that's going to feel great if you're Daimlerge now. You were kind of struggling. I mean, you are struggling, to be clear, in this matchup. It's already a Tiamat buy from Motormouth, but you're going to get the sustain from the Ocean Drake. You've got the armor boots already, so Daimlerge going to be feeling all right here over the next few minutes.
Yeah, Ocean Drake was the best case scenario for that top lane matchup for sure. I'm really glad that you highlight that. Once again, dude, this guy is just not missing. Can we get a counter, like, just for how many bindings this Morgana might miss?
And we need to go with as we'll watch this fight really fast.
Oh, we need to still make that bet.
From the Mundo. Yes, we do. Boom Train's coming into the bottom lane. That's going to be the fear and the munch. Boom Train's going to grab the kill there onto Bubbles. Combined kills. Start thinking about what you're going to take here. Daimlerge trading with Motormouth on the top side.
So is it an over-under or whichever number is closer?
Just take whoever's closer, your combined kills.
Okay, I'm gonna go with. I don't want to think too much about it because it's just not that hard to win bets against you from what I've learned. Like, I don't have to think that hard.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead with like let's go with 29.
Ooh, that was close to what I was going to guess. I was actually going to say 27.
Oh, yeah?
So,
I bet you were just saying that. You were sweating. You were like,
no,
don't know what to pick. Don't know what to pick. Oh, he went with 29? I'll go 2 under.
Motormouth trading with Daimlerge here, but the Malphite actually holding his own here is going to give free Tiamat proc and not much more sustain to the Renekton, but Daimlerge now starting to hold his own. Still down, though. The problem, 25 CS. So the Renekton doing his lane bully things so far. But the Malphite now level 7, has teleport available, so we'll have to see if he can get to either of his other lanes here to set up a play over the next few minutes as his team's up 3,000 gold. Feeling pretty secure at this point.
Yeah, this matchup for the Malphite shouldn't really get much better until, I think, 2-item. And even then, the Renekton, if he is like a strong enough player at keeping that pressure up throughout the laning phase, then he will still hold the advantage till about 3-item. But, you know, visits like these, where the Warwick just came top in this minion wave, this helps the Malphite a lot. It's these kinds of visits with from the jungler that you don't actually have to land a gank as the Warwick onto the Renekton. All you have to do is make sure your Malphite can get good reset timings. He did leave just a little bit early. It would have been nicer if he stayed around the area for Malphite to be able to crash this wave uncontested. But it looks like Renekton's going to go ahead and give it to him. And this is really big. If he does decide to take it back here, it looks like he's going to want to make sure that the lane is unfrozen first. So that's what I'm talking about, is the Warwick should have stayed around for just a little bit longer to make sure the Malphite can crash this wave and then back. And that's really the best way to get a top laner that has a bad lane matchup like this. Wow, this is just so many.
The binding from downtown, the condemn into the wall, and Bubbles is in trouble. Flash away, out of auto attack range, but the press Korean still able to get there. Rise has now come down to the bottom side.
That's a
lot of damage onto Duck Duck. Trying to flash away, is away from trouble for now. Rise taking so much damage from a depressed Korean. Tumble in, one more auto, that's it. That's another kill for the Vayne here. Spam Goose will just walk away. Depressed Korean doesn't want any more of this fight. That's a 2-0 for TDS.
Incredible. And Morgana has Ignite. That should be a dead Leona.
Yeah, Spam Goose going back.
Oh, the condemn away.
The chains. Duck Duck trying to chase him down at Depressed Green. Just tumbles and autos and finishes it off, making it 3 more kills for TDS.
Wow. Okay, so now we're seeing the payoff of having a Morgana pick into the Leona. Not only do they have so much dominance in the defeat 2v2, but they just went ahead and killed mid laner as well. Those are both of Rise's summoners. That's very huge. Rise, before roaming down bottom in that moment, he had a very healthy early game into the Ezreal. Yeah, he's not ahead in CS, but as a Rise, you're totally okay with being, like, you know, even in CS. That's a really healthy early game for you. But now, without having this teleport and flash against a Warwick with flash and ult, we should expect the next Warwick gank to probably be on this Rise. And I think that would be a really great way to really seal this game, like seal the deal, really make sure that Tyler One's Armpit Hair has no chance for any sort of comeback. I just want to try to say that team name whenever possible.
Oh, up in the top side, Dame Lurge backing away here, still just trying to maintain, you know, nothing worse than a 30 CS deficit right now as Motormouth. Not taking too much advantage of the early game Renekton. While the Malphite's down in CS, Motormouth has not been able to secure any kills. So we'll have to see with teleport available if maybe he wants to go down to the bottom lane, see if he can turn around this matchup that is definitely not going in Tyler One's Armpit Hair's favor.
Dude, they just lane swapped.
Yeah. They definitely could. That matchup could be a little rough.
Rise is bottom now.
Oh, they swapped the Rise to the bottom.
Yeah.
That's interesting. He may have a tough time here, though. He's going to try and get a solid trade here. There's the black shield for the Vayne. And Tendoman, the good thing out of this is there's the ultimate, the Solar Flare from Spam Goose, but it is going to eat a tower shot and a little bit of return damage from Tendoman. The one good thing is that the Ezreal should not be able to punish Tyler One Armpit Hair's bottom lane now that they've swapped to mid, as Dame Lurge still holding on to the unstoppable force.
Great pace.
You can kill him. He's going to go in kill range, and that's the solo kill. The Malphite takes down Motormouth.
Okay, and that should be the nail in the coffin. The fact that the Malphite is able to kill the Renekton on the side lane, and with the Vayne being this far ahead in the early game, as the Ezreal pick's doing its job, no deaths. That's typically why you would pick an Ezreal. It's just so the Ezreal doesn't die and gets a pretty decent scaling into the mid game. I'm starting to really see all the dominoes are falling in place for TDS. It's very likely that they should be able to close this game out relatively cleanly if this dynamic continues. And
Boom Trains off screen was able to grab the Mountain Drake, and now he's going into the mid lane. Binding will miss, but there's the true shot barrage from Tendoman as bottom lane will back away here from pressure, and we'll have to see if they want to look for that tier 1 in mid lane. It's an 8-0 lead in kills for TDS right now, and they've got 2 Drakes to their name. Up now, make that 5,000, just over 5,000 gold here for TDS's. Dame Lurge, Tempting Fate a little bit staying in lane, probably a little longer than he should. The Slice and Dice will not help secure the kill for Motormouth, but it should force Dame Lurge to return to base. He's going to try and farm this out under tower. Yeah, he's going to recall here, so We'll have to see. He doesn't have his teleport, so he will lose a bit of a minion wave here, so that CS lead will grow a bit for Motormouth, but it hasn't mattered too much to Daimlerge at this point in the game.
Yeah, but I mean, like, that's pretty unacceptable as a top laner. Like, for all of you guys watching at home, if you ever get a solo kill on the enemy laner and the wave isn't, like, hard pushing out away from you, because on that solo kill, the wave was pushing towards Malphite, if I remember correctly. In moments like that, you just leave the wave. Let it keep pushing towards you. It's more important to get the back timing on tempo with the guy that you just killed, because it's so free. That's basically one of the greatest advantages of getting a kill in the laning phase, is so that you can get a tempo, you can get a reset on tempo. The fact that he didn't there, and that Malphite Renekton was able to get a little bit of gold recovery off the tower platings and a free mini wave, that's pretty sloppy mini wave control coming out of the Malphite.
So now Daimlerge will return to lane. He is looking for an Iceborne Gauntlet first item, so that tells me that he wants to try and start trading more often with Motormouth. He is going to have some more damage thanks to that, as added on with the armor that he just gets from the item naturally. So Daimlerge, I think, wants to try and go toe-to-toe with Motormouth here over the next few minutes, especially when he's able to complete that item, so we'll see how that goes. Meanwhile, Motormouth, roaming down river right now, is paired up with Tupapi Churro. I just feel like when I see that, I have to pronounce it with a little bit of the accent.
I'm really glad
he's going to collapse on Duck Duck here. Duck Duck going to eat the stun. Can he flash away? He uses the ultimate, gets the support from the Warwick here, but it's a big collapse. But there's the unstoppable force, and Poop Train grabs one. The second kill to Duck Duck. Rise flashes away, but Daimlerge is here. He's going to get the slow with the Q. He is rooted. Not enough damage to take down Rise, but that's a 2 for 0 for TDS, and now they're looking for the Rift Herald.
Yeah, and there's really as little to no counterplay available for Tyler and Cyber Hair. They do have their bot lane splitting at bottom. Cross-map play, trying to trade a tower for this Herald, but I don't think they're even going to get that tower in time. If I remember correctly, that bot lane tower should be just about full HP. And here we have a great opportunity from TDS to be able to either use Herald top or mid. Looks like they're going to probably use the top lane, with Ezreal holding mid lane. Talon's Cyber Hair isn't even actually counter pushing that bot lane tower as well.
And the Rift Herald's just going to get dropped top side. This is going to be a huge push. The Morgana is still up here, so this is 3 members top side to assist in this push. The Rift Herald's going to go down. That will mean easily a second tower secured here for TDS. But Tyler One's Arpit Hair at least wants to contest, maybe get a fight. Binding will catch Tupapi Churro over the wall, and TDS will be able to back away. So the Rift Herald will not get the charge onto Tier 2, but TDS gets what they came for, their second tower, and a 7,000 gold lead here at 16 minutes.
Yeah, looking like a really overall clean, solid early game coming out of TDS. Tyler and Cyber Hair, their only saving grace, besides their team name, is they've got Rise on Rise in mid lane, and his farm is solid. He's not quite 10 CS per minute, but he's definitely not slouching in the farm department. He's got enough farm to be a decent threat, but here the Vayne is going to 1v1 him.
Oh, Rise cannot get away there. Missing that Q actually was huge. All of a sudden, Teresa Korean had plenty of health to go for the trade. He didn't land the condemn, but it didn't even matter. This Vayne is very big, but is going to get punished now. Teleport is on his way. Condemn into the wall, and that's going to buy enough time as the binding lands in the mid lane. That's going to be the ultimate onto the Renekton, and down goes Motormouth. Depressed Korean is still alive. Down goes Bubbles, and here is Daimlerge for the help. Depressed Korean really tempting fate here. Walking forward, he's burning from the Ignite, but it may not even matter. Spam Goose flashes in, goes for the auto, will get the kill with the W proc, so the shutdown for the Leona, but it doesn't even matter. That's an ace at 17 minutes for TDS.
A depressed Korean, probably feeling even more depressed knowing that he's his team's only death, but he went out in style. He went ahead, got the solo kill in the side lane, baited out the 1v3, survived for like, what, 15 seconds? Definitely a very impressive feat coming out of that bot lane, and he now has a Rageblade Bork. 17 minutes into the game, that is a very scary Vayne.
This Vayne is absolutely terrifying, and really at this point, nobody is going to be able to 1v1 the Vayne. She can kill anybody. It does not matter. So much damage on that bot laner, and now TDS going to collapse. Grab their second Mountain Drake here, so a phenomenal start here for TDS on the blue side. 15-1 in kills, now a 10,000 gold lead and 3 Drakes to their name.
All but insurmountable. Here we see the Misfortune is building a Bloodthirster first. I have some friends, a particular friend who really, really enjoys Bloodthirster Thirst on pretty much every champion. I just want to go ahead and point out that it's It's not good, guys. It's not good at all. Definitely not on Misfortune.
Oh,
Definitely not in
Motormouth
this
is in
game. This is a very dead
trouble.
Renekton. Wait, actually, the Vayne's going in. 1v3?
Yeah.
Very dead. Okay, that is... So, if there's one way Tyler's one Armpit Hair is going to win this game, it's if that happens like 7 more times. But it totally can.
It might require more than 7 times, but yeah, it definitely is helpful.
Definitely is helpful, but one thing I do want to point out from a Depressed Korean's build is I really like the No Magic Mantle here. It looks like he is going to go ahead and opt for a QSS third item. And typically when you are behind as an AD carry, you want to build as greedy as possible. You want to build the most damage that you can. You want to sacrifice defensive items if possible, outside of maybe like a well-timed stopwatch. And you try to build for maximum comeback potential. But when you're really ahead, there's actually a lot more value in building the defensive item early, like your third item in the game, because it allows you to push your advantage even more aggressively. So I'm really happy to see that early QSS, or hopefully it's going to be a QSS. We don't actually know yet, but I'm thinking that it will be.
Could be the QSS. Also, could be building just a little bit more defensively with the... dang it, what's the item with the... it has the lifeline passive, gives you the magic damage shield.
Oh, a Thirster of the Blood variety?
No, not Bloodthirster. You kill Bloodthirster? No, Bloodthirster builds out a BF sword and Vampiric Scepter.
Oh, I heard shield and
Yeah, the
and
magic
Bam.
damage shield. It's
Oh, Banshees.
nope,
No,
not Banshees.
Hex Drinker.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. As we are going to get the engage here in the jungle. Bubbles is going to go down to the ultimate from Boom Trains. There's the true shot barrage from Tennoman
And
to
they got a
take
mini-wave
out
at
the
mid.
Leona. And here comes TDS marching down mid lane. Meanwhile, Motormouth is split pushing on the bottom side, but TDS doesn't really seem to care. They're going to threaten an inhibitor tower in mid lane right now, so they are not concerned whatsoever. Rise is going to go for the kill here. Tennoman able to blink away, but it's not enough. Rise is going to get the kill, but down to the bottom side. Motormouth trying to get onto a depressed Korean, but it doesn't matter. The Vayne gets another kill. Now Tupapichuro going to try and chase down the Malphite. Will get the shutdown there.
Let's
But
go
it's-
to Tupapichuro. Run!
Boom Train, he's getting so much sustain. He's going to take the double kill on the Warwick. A little sloppy there from TDS, but they still come out in the positive side of that trade. They get a 3-for-2 in favor of them, and now they're pushing in the bottom lane.
Yeah, so 2 things to point out. One, now I know you guys were wondering about the Warwick Mundo head-to-head matchup in
Everybody
the early
was.
game.
They were all asking in Twitch chat.
Yeah, I see that they were. But in mid-game, in case you were wondering, looks like Warwick still does win those 1v1 trades. But a couple things that I want to break down about how TDS approached that whole mid-bot split lane pressure. If you are going to send people to your side lane when you have a mini wave crashing in mid lane, you don't actually want to follow that mini wave in mid lane. Here we see that they're getting hard to engage at bottom.
That was a good Dark Binding, or a good Black Shield, I should say, from DuckTuck to save himself. But with a Depressed Korean stepping forward into the Solar Flare, did cost the Vayne her life. Good binding there,
gets the snare.
but still going to get locked down. The flash set up from the Rise gets the shutdown onto DuckTuck here. And Tyler One's Armpit Hair not going down without a fight. Now 6 kills to their name, trying to close this gold gap as it's down to about 8,000 separating these teams. They've avoided the perfect game here, and TDS going to have to clean things up a little bit here because Tyler One's Armpit Hair on its way back in this game. Again, as you mentioned earlier, a near insurmountable lead for TDS. They are extremely strong. They do scale really well. The Vayne is going to be an absolute nightmare, and Motormouth never really became the early game bully he was supposed to be, as Daimler kind of held his own in that lane, so he is going to fall off. But TDS is giving openings, giving opportunities over to Tyler One's Armpit Hair.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the head-to-head standings in terms of CS count and just overall gold, you can see that top lane, Renekton's actually really ahead in terms of CS count. He's definitely going to be scaling into the mid-game as a stronger threat than the Malphite, maybe outside of team fighting. Rise having a great mid-game definitely is going to be one of the major threats in this game besides the Vayne. If you just don't count that bot lane matchup, especially considering that MF has a Bloodthirster, so it's like not only is she behind in gold, but it's a very gold ineffective item as her first item purchase. But outside of the bot lane, Tyler One's Armpit Hair is actually, if not ahead, they're even.
Yeah.
I would even argue that they are ahead everywhere else on the map.
Well, not in the jungle.
Yeah, not in the jungle, but I mean it's a Warwick.
And to be clear, that is a Warwick who has not built his jungle item, has instead elected to rush Titanic Hydra Trinity Force. That is some kind of Warwick
How did I
build.
not notice he doesn't have a jungle item? What the heck?
He's still sitting on a Hunter's Machete, so that Warwick does a lot of damage, is very scary, and has definitely doubled down on the lead that he has built so far. 7-0-2, fairly even in the CS department, but a lot of gold to his name with all those kills.
One thing I am really surprised though is, or surprised by though, is he has a Ninja Tabi. Malphite's Ninja Tabi makes sense because he's against a Renekton in the top lane. But as the jungler, you should look at this team spread. Look at who has gold on the enemy team and be like, all right, I really don't need armor. The only armor threat really is Renekton. It's not going to be Misfortune for at least another 20 minutes. And Rise is pretty much four-shotting me. He should absolutely have Merc Jets right now, especially against a Leona, a Renekton, and a Fed Rise. The fact that he has a Ninja Tabi is just another saving grace for Tyler1's Armpit Hair, because this Rise could absolutely 4 or 5 shot this Warwick build. No question, no doubt in my mind.
And also the tenacity is just super valuable against the team you're playing against. So
yeah, exactly.
Ninja Tabi, probably not the best buy, but hey, he hasn't been bitten by it as of yet in this game. So I think Boom Trains is feeling just fine right now. And now both teams grouping around mid lane. TDS is going to love that because they're going to just look for a binding into an unstoppable force from Daimler. So we'll have to see if they can get that play set up. Meanwhile, Tyler1's Armpit Hair just trying to absorb as much pressure right now as they can, trying to get those side waves pushing in their favor. Actually, top lane in their favor right now, but TDS is going to rotate down to the bottom lane and look for this bot lane inhibitor tower. Two-shot barrage comes out from the Ezreal. Doesn't get much done, but here comes the play. Ooh, that's going to be the Leona onto the back line, but they're just burning down the ultimate, doing so much work from the Morgana. Tendo Man gets one kill. Boom Trains gets another. That is 2 dead for Tyler1's Armpit Hair, and now it's a 3v5 defense for the red team.
I am so confused. So I want to break down what was happening before that fight just started, all right? So TDS grouped out of, yeah, it's a power move, but to me it looked also like a desperation move of like, you know, we are playing this split lane play horribly. We should just group as 5 and do something. Tyler1's Armpit Hair, yeah, they're much weaker, but Rise was wave clearing so well. Oh my gosh, these kills are just so free.
The Malphite just does not die. Tendo Man able to get the double kill here on the Ezreal. It's just Motormouth left to defend. TDS is going to rotate back to mid. They've got the wave there. They'll easily knock down this inhibitor. My guess is they're probably going to reset here, spend all of the gold that is in their pockets, and maybe look for a Baron. Here comes the Realm Warp from the Rise. It's just bringing the Rise, but it doesn't even matter. Here comes Tupapi Churro and Motormouth. There is the unstoppable force, and Boom Trains will take down Rise. Can Tyler1's Armpit Hair continue to fight back? They will not. That is 3 dead in that fight, but a double kill from Motormouth will buy some time for Tyler1's Armpit Hair.
All right, going back to my criticism of Tyler1's Armpit Hair to flank there. So you have a situation where the enemy team is way ahead, but they're grouping as 5 and walking around. When you are behind and you have a form of wave clear, that is actually a best case scenario. All you have to do is stay behind your towers, clear waves, and allow this team who is way ahead to not actually play the map. If they're playing the map and playing objective-based objectives and trying to draw you out of your base, the game becomes much harder. Now you have to actually worry about face-checking vision, about getting picked, about rotating properly to catch minion waves. But if they're grouping as 5 and moving lane to lane as 5, all you have to do is stay under your towers and clear waves. The idea to flank, not only to flank outside of your tower, but to flank at all, is very, very questionable for Tyler1's Armpit Hair, especially when they had a Rise that was able to wave clear as easily as Rise was here. Hey bro, where's my mystery skin from last week? Ooh.
Oh, and so to be clear, Captain Torch America, you were told to add me on League, and you didn't. But as far as I know, I did add you on League from my account, so you should have a friend request from me. So as long as you have accepted that and it's been 24 hours, I would be more than happy to get it to you. But yeah, you didn't add me, so I had to figure out what your summoner name was. So.
TDS, yeah, he's Yeso.
I may or may not be Yeso. I don't know. I think Latman just calls me that for fun on cast.
I do. Like, don't get me wrong. I call you a lot of things for fun on cast. Like a harsh lover.
Stop.
I mean, I don't know why you say stop. I'm telling the people what they want. TDS' inability to close out the game is indicative of their lack of coordination and macro.
Look at Gillyman here with the breakdown in the Twitch chat.
That's a very caster-esque explanation. A really spot-on breakdown of what is going on here.
I would also say another thing indicative of a lack of coordination was that flank in the bottom lane from Tyler1's Armpit Hair, because, you know, if you're going to take that play as, Solar Flare over the wall will not steal the Baron. It is going to go to TDS, but you know, you talked about how that's probably not the right play, right? You probably don't want a team fight there. You want to wave clear. But if you're going to go for the team fight, you need the help from the rest of your team. You can't just have Tupavichuro and Spam Goose go for the flank and not have the rest of your team coming to help, because then you're just feeding 2 more free kills to TDS there. So you need to have the communication with your team that, hey, we're going for this flank. We're going for the play here. We need the backup. We need the damage.
Yeah, that's another thing I wanted to touch on is you just said it right now. That flank was literally Mundo and Leona on a solo mission.
Like they did the flank right. If you're going for it, they got in behind the team and they got the Leona onto a priority target. Is it the right play? Probably not. But they executed it correctly, but didn't have the backup from the rest of their team.
And the thing is, in this game, you look at who has gold and who's actually a threat on Tyler 1's armpit hair. It's really only Rise. Renekton is not a team fighting champion. If any player on their team should have been making a call, a late game based call for some sort of giant play.
Yo, the Vayne and the Rise goes down. It's a press Korean with the kill. Tyler 1's armpit hair cannot handle the 2v2 lane here as the press green is like so aggressively, so much damage coming out of this Vayne right now, sitting on 3.5 items. Did go for the Mercurial Scimitar, so not only is he dealing out a lot of damage, is feeling very safe here as more bindings continue to come out. That's the unstoppable force. The bullet time does not do enough, and Tuk-Tuk's gonna get 1 kill. Here they're looking for more. 1 for the Ezreal, 1 for the Vayne, and that's gonna be a Nexus for TDS. They're gonna take the win over Tyler 1's armpit hair.
All right, a few things. 1, I won the bet. 1-0.
Oh, dang it, you did. 30 today, 40 kills. All right, so it's 1-0 for Latman. It's early. It's early. It's okay. I do want to address a couple things in Twitch chat.
The start of a
Captain Torch America, yes, that is the account that I added. So as soon as we're friends for 24 hours, I will make sure to get you your mystery skin, promise. I got it to everybody else, so you're just the last one left. Don't worry about it. King Reaper 101. Thank you for the mystery skin. Got one for Shen. You are very welcome. Thank you so much for hanging out last week and having fun with us with the trivia. Glad you liked the skin. I'm Bomberman245. A new skin would be nice. You know what? Hey, if we do a giveaway in the future and you win, I'm more than happy to give you one, but they're not for free. And then
he likes it the least.
That Asian Smurf, what ranks are these guys? It is open rank here for Late Night League. I believe I can double check here for this game. Hell Yeah Gaming and Titan Gaming. I think we have it on here. So Hell Yeah Gaming is around Plat 1, it appears. Titan Gaming looks around Gold 1. That's what I have listed on the bracket. So, but it is open rank, so anybody can come and play. Doesn't matter.
That hook.
Ooh, and we get we get to see Stun Daddy on Thresh. I love it. Here we go. We're dropping into this game. 17 minutes in. Hell Yeah Gaming.
Gragas ult.
Ooh, Logwin gets the kill onto Zachary. The Rumble goes down, and it's a solid lead for Hell Yeah Gaming. I'm gonna throw it to you, Latman. Where are we at in this game? Break things down for me.
All right. First of all, real quick, Uracook. I am on my 4th year at UCI. Breaking down this game real quick, we do see a Rumble mid, Silent top, Kai'Sa Thresh bot lane. So you've got some really great forms of mixed damage here. The Kai'Sa can opt to go for an AP-based build, which it looks like she is probably going to do since she built the Manamune first. And it definitely would be a pretty good build going to Hell Yeah Gaming, who has a relatively tanky composition with a Poppy, Gragas, Renekton frontline, and a Kayle Nami for what I want to say is scaling.
That is a very interesting bottom.
Yeah, that's a very interesting bot lane. I'm not too sure if it is a successful bot lane in terms of like I actually have no idea how this bot lane won at bottom. How Kayle Nami could have beat Kai'Sa Thresh. I would have totally expected a Thresh to be able to really pick apart that lane. So I would have been really excited to have seen that. Unfortunate that I can't. Hook goes a little bit wide. Looks like he's going to go for the turn, but should be a pretty easy kill there.
Aggressive ultimate there from Shinon is burning from the Ignite, but will be able to survive. The one thing I'll say here, Hell Yeah Gaming with a solid lead right now, up 8,000 gold. But the problem is the scaling advantage, I would say, is still in favor of Titan Gaming. You do have the Kayle, who can become, let's not say can become, does become terrifying in the late game.
Yeah.
But the rest of the team is going to fall off a bit here. Pickle Spray will not be as big of a threat in the late game. And I Am Rabbit on the Gragas can do some solid damage, but does fall off a little bit. But the Rumble Kaisa combo will actually scale really well into the late game and into the team fights, as that is going to be the equalizer here. But a lot of damage being returned by Boop. Zachary's going to go gold. Here comes the rest of the team. They need to take out the kill. That's the important target. Stun Daddy going to get knocked up. Logwood trying to get into the backline here. Zachary still surviving. The Rengar hopping around here, but Boop is still alive. Almost no damage has been done to this kill. T-Train's going to go down. That kill goes to Logwood, and now they're going for the chase. Pickle Spray flashes in, slices, dices, and takes out Zachary.
Yeah, when I said good Rumble, totally misworded. I meant bad Rumble. So the idea is, if you have
it's opposite day, it's okay.
If you can choose between the Nami and the Kale, you go for the Kale. You go for the Kale every time. You do not go for a one-man Rumble ult to cut off a Nami. That is like the best thing that Hell Yeah Gaming wants to happen in the river, especially because if he just held that ult for like 10 more seconds, let's say he doesn't even use it on the Kale, which would have been a pretty good ultimate. But if he waits for 10 more seconds, Rumble ultimate in a river-based scenario is such a powerful spell. It's definitely the kind of spell that, that your patience will be rewarded no matter what. You just put it down, I think it's diagonal across river to just cut off the entire river.
Yeah.
And it would have been a really great usage. But instead he uses it horizontally on a low Nami, and his team just lacked any other strong forms of long-range damage, long-range CC to really get anyone locked down on Hell Yeah Gaming, which gave Kale a really free team fight to play through.
Yeah, I have to say, coming from a support main myself, if you ever play against me and you want to waste your key ultimates trying to kill me, I am more than happy to absorb them. Please waste them all on me, especially if you're still not going to kill me. I am more than happy to absorb that, though. Orbit is going to get caught by the Death Sentence here and taken down by Zerelius. So the Rengar on the board with his third kill here. Stun Daddy gonna miss that death sentence there, but Titan Gaming trying to set up to get a bit of a push going here in mid. One thing to note, they do not have Zachary with them. He is in the bottom lane, does have teleport available, so can join his team here. We may see an engage here, flash away from T-Train, but that is gonna be the stun. Good death sentence, so they're trying to take out Pickle Spray, but he's not dead yet. Not enough work done by Shino. T-Train is just in the front line in his undead form, trying to do work here. It's not gonna be enough. Zachary jumps in. There's a good equalizer. I Am Rabbit has to go gold, but the Rumble doing work right now. Now Logwin has to get away here. That's a killer instinct. That's risky, and down goes Pickle Spray. And Hell Yeah Gaming is so tanky right now that even with a beautiful equalizer from Zachary, it's not enough. It's a 2 for 0, and Titan Gaming comes out on the losing side of that fight.
Wow, and that looked like Titan Gaming actually had a chance to really come out ahead on that fight as well. But, you know, Kai'Sa ulting forward with none of her teammates actually there for her on the front line. Definitely a huge misplay on using your Kai'Sa ultimate. It's much better to either A, if you're planning on ulting forward like that, flash out immediately as soon as you're done with the very first moment of your ult forward. Oh. That could actually be a really great way to bait out a bad team fight from the enemy team. But unfortunately, he does not use the flash. This looks like it's going to be a free Baron unless Rigger can get in.
Oh, Zachary just gets deleted there. Boop going to get the kill. The ultimate from T-Train is late, but a good axe will knock up for. Can he get away, though? Not before he goes down. That's a double kill for Boop here, and he's looking for more. Zerelius is going to jump in, but it's still going to be a triple kill. The Kale is definitely online right now. Boop has a massive threat here. It's just Xenon and Stun Daddy here left to try and contest the Baron. The health bars are fairly low here for Hell Yeah. Do they go for something? Baron down, 5,500 health, make it 35. Stun Daddy's here. He's looking for a death sentence over the wall. Can he catch a priority target? Killer Instinct not available for Xenon. That's going to be Baron for Hell Yeah Gaming. And a 14,000 gold lead. They will return to base.
You know, I feel like Titan Gaming actually had a pretty good chance of contesting that Baron. One thing that was hard to see from the corner of the screen, but Rengar was doing a really great job of being patient. The first 15 seconds of that Baron, even while there was a skirmish occurring in the river, Rengar was staying at that red buff bush. He was just watching Hell Yeah Gaming's Poppy was actually the lone champion that was keeping the Baron engaged and was late to actually fighting in the river. That was part of the reason why that fight in the river did go so well for Titan Gaming in the opening like 5 seconds. If Rengar just simply kept telling his team, don't actually commit to that skirmish, back off in the river, and let me just keep sitting here and waiting to see if they go back onto the Baron and so he can jump in for a steal, that would have been a really great executed attempt at a Baron steal coming out of Titan Gaming. Unfortunately, his team ends up going for that committal to the fight in river, and that was probably Hell Yeah Gaming's easiest case scenario on how to play out that Baron. Was to bait out a fight in the river, drop off of Baron, turn on the fight, kill them, and then drop back onto the Baron.
Now, Hell Yeah Gaming just trying to set up in the Titan Gaming red side jungle here, clear out some wards and see if they can get
nice
some picks.
Greg
That's a
assault.
good cast for Mind Rabbit, but he's going to completely whiff on the body slam. Pickle Spray running forward, getting a little bit of sustain, but he's taking a lot of damage here. T-Train actually doing a lot of work. Going to drop the axe and get the kill onto the Renekton. Is this Titan Gaming's fight? We'll have to see. T-Train is going to die here, and Logwin will be able to knock him away. He's not going to be a threat to anybody else, but it's a 2-for-1, still in favor of Hell Yeah Gaming, and they're looking for mid lane.
Oh, this Kayle cannot be stopped, especially with Nami buffs. She is so scary. All these frontliners are dead on Titan Gaming, which means Kayle is just free to hit on towers as much as she wants. Going to be a free inhibitor for Hell Yeah Gaming, and they do have a wave crashing on top lane tower as well. It looks like they are going to rotate to that top lane with Poppy.
And that tier 2 is already pretty low. They've got the Baron buff minions, and Titan Gaming has to clear waves now and deal with super minions that will be on their way in the mid lane. So the tier 2 top side falls down easily there for Hell Yeah Gaming, and they will reset once more here. Still a little bit of time left on that Baron buff to work with. We'll see if maybe they can secure another inhibitor.
Looks like Kayle is going for that Medjai's in the mid game.
Honestly, I love it.
Yeah,
she is
good
so
decision here.
fed right now.
Yeah.
Worth it.
Yeah, typically when you don't have that much momentum, Medjai's it's kind of a bad buy on most AP carries that are not long range. But when you are ahead like this, especially when you have such momentum like the Kayle has in this stage of the game, it's absolutely a gold efficient buy in my opinion. If he does die, like in this very next team fight, it really isn't that much of a cost. Just go ahead and sell the Medjai's immediately and be like, oh, well, heck. Didn't go that well. Lost like a few hundred gold, no big deal. On the other hand, like if he just gets like 4 more kills and doesn't die at all in this mid game, he's going to be such a monster in like 3 minutes because of that item. So I really am a big fan of the Medjai's purchase here.
Now into the mid lane, Pickle Spray again, going aggressively on this Renekton. Iron Rabbit will land the body slam, but it's just going to really tickle the Scion here as T-Train can back away. Titan Gaming in a full defense right now, but their bot lane inhibitor tower is going to fall. Good bubble there's going to catch Stun Eddy, and that's one for the Kayle. Titan Gaming are just filing in to their death here. T-Train's going to go down. That's 3. Make it 4 dead for Titan Gaming. It will be a single-man defense from Zerelius, and it's not going to be enough. He will retreat to his fountain, and Hell Yeah Gaming, you're going to take this win, take the Nexus, and move on with a dominant victory here in Week 6. Oh, they're going to dive the fountain, get another kill. They'll feed a couple more over, but they don't care all that much. It's an ace and a win for Hell Yeah Gaming.
I'm a really big fan of that end game fountain dive, by the way. That was beautiful. Really great bloodthirsty stuff.
Yeah.
I approve.
And it didn't, they didn't get punished for it, so I think it all works out in the end.
Yeah, no punishment. It really sucks when you go for that like game fountain dive and then you actually lose the game from that. That's happened to me in a few of my solo queue games.
That feels bad, man.
I mean, it's pretty good when your teammates get really mad about it.
The thing that tilts me the most is when like you want to go for that dive and then the Nexus is exposed and the death timers aren't that much longer at the point you're kind of sitting at, and then all of a sudden it's just like you didn't focus the Nexus, then they wipe you, and all of a sudden they're still back in the game. You're like, wait, we had 5 members here with an exposed Nexus. What happened?
I live for those.
Oh, super, super tilters. 2 games down, folks, here in Week 6 of Late Night League. We just saw Hell Yeah Gaming take a victory, and if you guys hit ! bracket in Twitch chat, you can see the bracket we're peeking at here. Our matchup we saw earlier in the day, TDS taking that win means they will face off against Blanket Boys, our top team in the West, and the winner of that one will actually face off against Hell Yeah Gaming, who we just saw. So we may see that matchup later in the day. We're ready to go to a break, folks. Latman and I here are going to take a little bit of a breath, grab a drink, but when we return, we've got more Late Night League action for you guys. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a few. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Yeso and Latman here. I'm just here to regulate this guy.
There's so much I want to say, but
You guys
production
don't-
won't let me say any of it.
You guys don't get to hear the things that go on during the break.
Come
I'm
on.
just here to like censor this man. I love him. He's a good dude. He's fun to cast with, but somebody has to keep him in line. Because if I don't, I mean, if I wasn't here, no holds barred, we'd be in trouble.
No bar holds, no holds bar. Was that right?
No holds barred. Yeah.
Have I been saying that wrong my whole life?
Yeah.
Oh.
We've got Late Night League here to get to, though, folks. We're about ready to get into Blanket Boys versus TDS, so I don't want to hear any complaining from some specific players. I'm looking at you, Gilly Man.
Come on, man.
We're coming to you.
We see
Don't
you.
worry. I need a break.
Cut it out.
I need to get a drink of water. I got to
Yeah.
stand up, move
Yeah.
my legs. you know?
Casters are humans too, all right?
Yeah. Subhumans, but still there at some point.
My mom told me that once. Huh?
Excuse me?
What?
We're not going to run by that one more time. We're about ready to get in the game here, folks. We're just checking out draft in the back, so we're actually about ready to just drop right on to the Rift. So get ready for that. Should be a good one, and we will obviously have more action later in the day. Hoping we can get to Upper Moons later as well, our other top team in the West.
Oh, hey, we got to make a bet. We forgot last game.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a 1-0 lead, to be clear, for Latman.
Of course.
Just I like to give him one early. Let him feel good about himself. You know,
Yeah.
I can't just crush him right from the start, right?
Yeah, those are the words of a loser.
Gotta let him believe.
By the way.
Gotta let him believe. Okay. You pick the bet then, and then I'll pick first.
All right, let's go with I'll go with an easy one. Who gets first blood?
Are we going player or team?
Player.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna make my pick when we
we'll see draft first.
the game. Yeah,
Yeah.
when we see the draft come up and we're onto the Rift. That's interesting. Gillyman says pick me. I'm not gonna pick you.
Your support, dude.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a bad move on our part.
Yeah.
Like I like you, kinda, but like, it's just not. It's not smart. It's not a smart move on my part. I'm sorry. I'm a bad move. You're not wrong. Like, I don't have good moves, but like,
You got some dance moves?
I mean, a few.
Come on. What do you got? Okay. Little shimmy. You got anything that you can do standing up? Do we get
Well,
to see a little dance demonstration
I
right
would like if I was wearing a proper belt today. But
now? Okay,
like,
wait. Production. Do I have approval for him to show off his belt, Kathy?
Kathy,
He's not gonna take any clothes
come
off.
on.
Can I get a thumbs
Nah.
up? Can we show it
Nah,
on camera?
nah,
Can I have
nah.
Can he stand up?
I
It's
mean,
pretty cool.
go for it.
Yeah. Okay. So
All
check out.
right.
My man showed up with no belt
I
today.
forgot my belt today,
He forgot no belt today.
so I'm using a plug.
That is an extension cord. That's his belt today. Look at this man.
Dude, it works
He's
really well.
He's an innovator, ladies and gentlemen.
It
That
works
is, that
really
is
well.
a beautiful thing.
You know, my first cast here, I brought a shoelace, and it worked almost as well. This works even better.
This is like the only like more gamer that could have gotten is if you had like a mouse. And
Oh,
you just
a
like
mouse
you
cord?
just like tied it on and the mouse just like
That actually
that
would
would have
work
been like
so well.
that would have been so
And just
gamer.
keep the mouse on the side as like an accessory to like, whip around. Anyone gets mad at me,
Just-
lasso my route outside him. That'd be pretty good.
Oh man, there it is, folks. Coming in style. Honestly, he literally just picked it up off of the ground and said, "I don't have a belt. Let's see if this works." And it actually perfectly
That is
fit.
actually exactly how it went down.
Oh man. Apologies for the bit of the delay, folks. Big Boy Gaming there. I am updating drives right now, or drivers. Apparently the PC I'm on wasn't up to date.
Come on, man.
I'm sorry.
Get your head in the game.
You gotta get your head in the game.
You get your head in the game too.
My
Get out of here. Production just told him to walk out. I agree with that. Did I say hi to Soren?
Come
When would I
on.
say hi to Soren?
I don't even like the movie. It's just a reference that I know. If it pops into my head and I know it, it just comes out. I don't have a filter. You guys, well, okay, I sort of do, but like with references, I don't really. Come on. It wasn't that bad.
It was that bad.
It wasn't that bad.
It was that bad.
Come on.
It definitely was.
I
Now
wanna hear from
production's
you.
like dancing
I
in
wanna
the
hear. I
background.
want to hear from chat. All right. I want to know.
Uh.
Was that reference that bad? Come on. That was pretty. Like, that was good. That was on point.
Guys,
at least.
Times like this, it's more important to be honest than to be kind. All right, like you shouldn't support your friends' bad references. It's, okay.
Bjergsen's beard is magnificent. We're not going to say the other part of your comment about it, but yes, it is magnificent. I am all on the daddy Bjergsen train.
That's pretty
Like,
good.
it looks good.
Yeah,
I
it
think he
does.
rocks it. It's better than mine.
I don't know about that.
I think Bjergsen's beard's better than mine.
Uh,
It's pretty good.
can we get a poll from production? Yes, please. Can we get
Yeah.
a poll?
Dude, can we get a poll in Twitch chat? Wait, is this a whose beard is better? Is that what we're asking for?
Wait, these are both great polls, actually. I thought they meant for.
No.
Is it
no,
a bad
no.
reference?
We're not putting my stash up against Bjergsen's beard. We're putting my full beard up against Bjergsen's beard because that's the only way I have a fair shot.
You
there.
don't have
and
a
I still
beard.
think I lose.
It's a mustache for sure. It's
No,
mustache versus beard, definitely.
come on.
You don't have a beard. It's not there
I
right
did.
now. You did.
I did a
You
week
did.
ago.
You
well,
did.
Just a little over a week
Yeah,
ago.
but the key word here is did. You do not currently have one. Therefore, your mustache is on the line. Yeso has your vote. Like, look, it's not even like
I
you've got
just
a good
want
chance.
Bjergsen, if you're watching, and I know you're not. If you're watching, and I know you're not, I would pick your beard over my mustache.
A fool's choice.
My boss calls
a
me
fool's choice.
I come into work every day, and my boss just goes, good afternoon, officer. Every time I get here. Every time. And it's fine. I look like Farva. We went over this last week.
Yeah.
It's pretty uncanny.
That was exactly the word I was going to use.
It's pretty uncanny.
It's
Like if
uncanny.
you guys missed
It's
last
unnerving.
week's stream, you missed last week's stream. I shaved off the beard before the cast and just showed up just with the mustache, and we had a little fun. We did some trivia and stuff, and one of the trivia questions was, what was my nickname from my fraternity brothers when I first did the mustache?
It was. I was there.
And it was Farva. And if you guys have never seen the movie Super Troopers, I want you to go to Google right now and Google Farva Super Troopers. That's Farva. And just look at that, and then look back at me, and then be very confused.
Like, prepare yourselves. Like, you will feel weird.
I do need a liter of cola, honestly. Honestly, can we just run Feifel? What? No. But it's pretty uncanny. It's kind of weird, and I didn't mind it. I think it's pretty funny. It doesn't bother me.
It's not bad. Yeah. I mean, if I was a man who
Oh,
could
we
grow a
have the
mustache,
poll. The poll is up.
Oh.
Okay, I'm gonna pull this up on we have our little PC here.
That's a laptop, man.
It's whatever. Bjergsen beard or Oh, okay. So we did or Yeso beard. Ha ha ha. So I have. Hey, if you guys don't remember what the beard looks like, or you haven't seen me before last week, go to my Twitter.
Production, come on.
At Caster Yeso, CASTERY4SO. I actually tweeted out a pic of it just a few days ago. Oh, look there. Boom. Exclamation point Casters. You can actually click on the link to my Twitter. And I actually tweeted out a picture of it a few weeks ago. It's also my profile picture from the finals. I think it was season 2 finals that picture's from. So if you need to compare, I'm voting for Bjergsen, though. Let me just put that in there.
Do you hear?
We need to get more votes, though. I've only got 30 votes in there. Kathy, you can just go over to the microphone and say stuff if you need us to. You don't have to yell at us.
We don't hear any of it.
I don't deserve that.
Bergerson for sure.
See, I'm on the Bjergsen hype train here. His beard is better. Let's be honest.
I mean, like, if you guys
We're gonna
are
keep
talking
track
about
of the
opposite
results
there-
here.
Oh, there we go.
But I need everybody in Twitch chat, everybody that's watching. I need you guys to vote. I need your input.
Ooh, Dude,
Bjergsen's beard's better. Come on.
Gilly man.
Yeah, we'll get you guys the
Nice
results
one.
at the end of the game. We're going to keep an eye on it, but we will give you the results of the poll later. But everybody hit that link and vote. Kathy, big shout out to her in production. She's going to be spamming that poll throughout the game. Latman has the best beard.
I don't disagree.
Look at this man. He's gorgeous. Look at him.
I didn't shave for like a few days. Nothing happens up here.
I was just about to be like, oh no.
You gotta stop, man. All right, I have a question.
Okay.
I don't know why I came up with this question. I think it's because on one of the screens in the back I saw a pineapple. Would you rather throw 1 pineapple at someone or 5 bananas at someone?
What kind of question is that?
What's your answer?
Do I have to throw something at this person?
Yes.
And it has to be either a pineapple or 5 bananas?
5 bananas.
Probably. Do I like this person or no?
You hate them.
Oh, I hate. Okay.
You want
if I
to
don't,
cause
if I
harm.
don't, yeah, if I don't like them, I'm throwing a pineapple. Come on, like bouncing a pineapple off of somebody's dome is gonna hurt a lot more than 5 bananas. Like 5 bananas are annoying and like, You know, if I hit you in a delicate area, like it's probably still gonna hurt. But I feel like my chances of injuring you are just better with a pineapple. My
No,
odds are better.
the thing is like on paper that's the right call. If it's a one time, like a one moment, like I'm gonna throw 5 bananas at you one by one, then yeah, you're probably right. The pineapple will do
Oh,
more
okay.
damage.
So it's like a
You have a
bunch.
bundle
Is
of
that the
bananas.
or a bundle?
You have
Okay.
a no. You're right. It's a bunch of
Uh,
bananas, and you can throw these bananas anytime, any place, anywhere, anyhow. You've got 5 bananas. Like you've got a lot of options here.
We
Like
really went off the rails here today, folks.
how
We
is this
are
off the rails?
obviously we are trying to just kill a little time here. We appreciate you guys bearing with us as we get ready for our next game. We'll update the poll results at the end. Everybody
I got
go
really
vote.
excited.
The
I'm
link is in
sorry.
Twitch chat. Bjergsen should win. If I win, you're doing it wrong. Let's just be clear. But really, I still think that, dude, the pineapple, man. Because not only is it like thick and heavy, it's got like the
yeah.
spines and stuff on it. Like it can also kind of
Yeah.
scratch you up real good. So
Kinda.
like, I mean, bananas can hurt. I mean, AD carry like top lane Soraka,
Yeah.
Bill AD, like she hurts, but I'm still taking a pineapple.
I only go with the banana because, like, let's say the first throw
This
wasn't
is
that
league
great.
related too. Yeah, I
Like,
love
the
it.
first banana throw might not be your best banana throw, but you've got 4 more. By the second and third banana throw, yeah, maybe not that much damage, but by this point in time, you have 2 more bananas and you have a lot of experience racked up. Now you really know what you're doing with these bananas.
I just feel like, though, if I just stand there with my hands over kind of my waist area, I feel like you could throw 5 bananas at me as hard as you can, and I'm still not feeling too bad. But I feel like regardless, like if you hit me with a pineapple in the chest, in the stomach, in the leg, in the head, like I feel like regardless, if you hit me with it, that's gonna hurt.
It's probably gonna hurt, but like
gonna
it
hurt.
depends. It depends on, like, I'm really glad that Genino brings up geography, surroundings into the equation. It just throw the peels, make them fall. Imagine if they're
Let's-
at the top of a really
so-
long flight of stairs, the longest flight of stairs.
So
All right, the longest flight of stairs that you can imagine, and there's a banana peel right there.
here's the deep end. Here's us guys, all the way down here. You know what? And we're having fun with this. We're still waiting for this game to get ready. So appreciate you guys bearing with us. Let's keep it up with the questions in Twitch chat. So just hit us up with anything. We would prefer league related or late night
Here's a
league
good one.
related. So hit us with those in chat. But
What do you guys think of
we'll start here.
SKT and who's going to win Worlds?
SKT is still one of, like, that roster is still one of the most stacked rosters, like pound for pound, we've ever seen in league history. It's absolutely insane.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to see them back at Worlds. I know everybody, the talk for years has always been like people are just so tired. It's SKT every year. They always win. Every time they're there, they go to the finals. But I'm a big proponent of, like, I just want to see great teams play,
Yeah.
and I want to see them perform to the top level. So, and I think SKT being at an international tournament just elevates that tournament. I think it makes, one, the games are just more entertaining and better, and 2, it means more if SKT, like, if you're at a world championship, take the same pool of teams for this year, do it next year, and just sub out SKT with another team. That tournament is automatically worse. It automatically just has less prestige because
Yeah.
SKT isn't there. So
It's true.
I'm
Yeah.
happy for SKT. I'm sorry that they lost. I'm happy they were back at the tournament though, and I think who's going to win Worlds? My pick is G2, but I think it's going to be really close, and I wouldn't be surprised if FPX won. I think it's going to be a really fascinating series.
Yeah, I actually have no idea which team I would choose between the two. But I do agree with your point that prestige is a big factor
Yeah.
in terms of, like, not only bringing viewership, but just bringing sponsorship interest, new ownership interest into the scene.
Yeah.
Potential people who are potentially interested in entering the esports scene, like potential investors, team owners, etc. It's much more comforting to see teams that have legacies and they're able to maintain their status in the scene year after year than to see a bunch of teams, just new teams every year. That's definitely not the kind of scene that is attractive to an investor. So for me personally, as someone who's really interested to see sustainable growth in the esports scene, I'm happy to see teams like SKT continue to qualify over and over.
Yeah.
Comrade 82, you're beautiful, man.
Yeah. Or lady.
Comrade.
Comrade.
You're beautiful, comrade.
Yeah. I mean, I think the best analog is actually comparing Season 8 without SKT at Worlds is very similar to what we'll probably see this year in the NBA, if anybody's a basketball fan. The
Yeah.
Golden State Warriors. Nowhere near the same
so
team.
tragic,
I would be
actually.
surprised if they made playoffs. Obviously, they're dealing with a lot of injuries and a very different roster. And I would say it just this year's NBA, playoffs won't be the same without them there. So I think it's a very solid analog to look at that. But, this year without the Golden State Warriors, if they don't make it, to last year without SKT. It's just different. It's not quite the same. But we are in a game here, folks. We got TDS and Blanket Boys and some aggression from
Just
TDS
getting
here.
punished level 1.
Oh, that's going to be first blood for a depressed Korean here. Great start for TDS Maestro. Actually trading back with the axes here. He's in trouble here. Oh, the Academy Ring nearly takes him out, but he just barely survives thanks to the heal. Meanwhile, top side, that CLG factor.
Slap chopping that tree.
Hey, I'm a CLG fan.
Lee might go in here.
Shout out to my boy.
Leon has Q though. There's no way he can go. Yeah, good call. I'm really happy to see Gizzards is finally punished for his level 1 antics. Every game that we've seen this guy get threshed, level 1, he forces summoners. He always just walks forward, gets a good play, and the enemy champions just have to flash away because they don't have the strength to actually trade back 2v2. In this lane, head-to-head matchup, you would have expected the same thing to happen. A Draven level 1 should totally be able to make good usage of a Thresh walking up level 1 with play. However, Duck did a great job of maintaining consistent auto attacks on the Thresh. Like, not only did he go ahead and stun the Thresh off the bat, but he got like a good 5-6 auto attacks off. That makes such a huge difference as a melee support. Really well played by TDS's bot lane.
By the way, I actually love this bait going on from Blanket Boys right now. They're hiding from Duck that he's actually standing on a ward. And bear with us, folks. We actually got a little bit of a glitch here on stream.
We're
Hopefully
frozen
we'll figure
in
this
time.
out. Yeah.
It might just be us.
It might just be us. We'll,
yeah. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, we're going to come back to us. Maybe not. Oh,
nope,
never
looks
mind. Like we're okay.
We're good. Nothing happened. We were always okay.
Dearest right commentator, I believe they're talking to me because I'm on the right side of the stream as we're getting more aggression. Duck just stepping out of tower range, but gonna get played back in. The
gonna be a kill.
And the kill.
And
More
Kaisa
kissers.
is DC'd, it looks like.
Oh, that's a big sad. Maestro's going to get the cash in as depressed Korean goes down. There's the disconnect. We're going to go to a pause. Okay, so we may actually come back to us right here for a moment. Could you describe the care routine for your elegant mustache? Wow, big quotations around elegant. I don't know about that.
It is.
It's just a big free caterpillar on my upper lip. Shampoo and all. Care routine. Not a whole lot. I'm actually pretty lackadaisical in terms of caring for my facial hair. And I've actually been told recently that my shampooing of it is actually probably not great. I should get some more beard, some more facial hair specific kind of care products. So I'm probably going to do that when the beard returns in December. I'm actually going to do some solid research into actually making sure that I take good care of it. So I will do that then. But as of right now, I just would typically shampoo it. Because I want to keep it clean. I don't want that all oily and nasty. So, but something I do need to work on. I actually need to be a little more cognizant of taking good care of it. So nothing too crazy there. Make sure the guys hit that straw poll. Link is in Twitch chat. Vote whose beard is better, mine or Bjergsen's. Vote Bjergsen. I don't think that star players were their best this year. I feel like the teams that advanced had the better performance as a team. I think that's a really good point.
Yeah, that's a really strong point, actually.
Yeah.
That's Spartan.
Yeah.
Interesting.
This tournament was littered with star players. But I think the easiest way to look at that, right, is look at IG versus FPX, the semifinal, right? The Shy and Rookie are still two of the best solo laners in the world. And I would still say that the Shy is still the best top laner in the world, bar none. But teamwork has been so important to this tournament, and it really showed in that series based on just the way that FPX plays the game.
Yeah.
And then G2 as well. And G2 really shows that no matter how they're playing the game, if they're playing to scale 8 and go to team fights, if they're playing around early skirmishing or pathing around with their jungler and trying to snowball their lanes, the teamwork is so effective and the communication is so clear with how they really, the team, it may be 5 different players and 5 different champions on the map, but they really seem to move as kind of a single organism.
Yeah.
And so I think that's a great point. I think there were still star players that played like star players throughout this tournament, but they all have faltered at certain points, and I agree. The team that performs the best as a team has consistently won in this tournament.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that's a very, very, very spot-on point. That's Spartan one. I'm actually really impressed. I do think that this is probably one of the most obvious seasons where star players not only didn't really perform as consistently as we've expected them to perform in the past, players like Uzi level of performance consistency. And I think it's a sign of where the meta is right now as well. Not only in terms of the champion pick meta, but in terms of team strength meta. In terms of how good are teams at cross map play, at being able to communicate with each other on when they should be pushing up lanes, they should be timing their invades into jungle for vision and jungle invades and etc. I think that the level of that macro based play internationally at the world stage is at a place where it's never been before in League of Legends, which isn't really a hard statement to make because it's common sense that as we're going into our ninth year of competitive play of League of Legends, that teams at this level of play should be near flawless in terms of macro play. That's not entirely true. You'd still see a lot of small micro mistakes in terms of players, mistiming a step forward on the map here and there, but these are the factors that teams are getting much better at, and the things that lead into the overall impact of having a star player becoming so much less than what it used to be in the past.
CC Sherwin, your mustache is near Bromliness. Get that cosplay going. I appreciate it. It's not. I don't. To be clear, I don't even have the best mustache in our office, guys. Everybody's hyping the mustache. I don't even have the best mustache in our office. That hands down goes to my boy Filthy. He
so
does some of the
modest,
music for
man.
our stream, does some graphics and stuff. He does a lot of great work, but he has hands down the best mustache in our office. So I appreciate the hype, though, guys. I love it.
It's well found.
Really good for my self-confidence. Make sure to vote in the straw poll, guys. Vote for Bjergsen's beard. Better than mine.
Late Night Mondays, where we're cognizant of facial hair health and awareness.
All right. Also, I also want to
Nice
figure out
play.
how many times
Still has
you have
the
said something that isn't late night league this season. I need that number. I need to go back and VOD review.
Did I say it
He
wrong
said
again?
He said late night Monday.
Oh my goodness! I must say that I've said that at least like 5 times.
So many times. Oh, that's going to be the
great
hit to the
play.
flash in from Gizzer into the death
with the
sends.
hook, still has to
Big
play.
trouble here for Duck Duck trying to get away. Good play is going to catch Duck Duck here, and Gizzers is going to get the kill. Oh my gosh. To be clear
close.
here, we were supposed to make a bet on who got first blood, and we never did. So, switch it up here.
Okay.
Pick a different bet.
All right, I'm picking a different bet. My bet is going to be where the first tower will drop.
Where the first tower will drop. Okay.
Yeah.
So we have to say, how about which specific tower or just which lane?
Which lane? Yeah, which lane?
Okay. So it doesn't matter either way.
Doesn't
Okay.
matter either way. Yeah.
I'm gonna say.
I know my answer already, but I'm not allowed to.
No,
make
I
a
get
bet
to
here.
pick
Yeah,
first.
you get to pick.
Yeah. I'm gonna say top. Yeah, I'm gonna say top lane. I think top lane. CLG Factor. He's on the Tryndamere. He's gonna want to try and split push here, and Dame Lurge has been happy to give up early pressure so far in this tournament. So I'm gonna go with top lane.
Drats. I guess I go with bot lane.
Okay.
I was gonna go with top lane as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I see a Tryndamere up there, and I'm like, tower could go down.
Yeah, I tried baiting you with the whole Draven lane. Like, most people would be like, see the Draven. Oh yeah, tower's not gonna drop there. But yeah, I do think it's a very safe bet to assume that the Tryndamere will probably be the first lane to drop a tower. We will see what happens. It looks like in bot lane, Blinken Boys does have a fairly
us.
If you can, just imagine I'm holding your hands through this. It's trying times, but we'll get through it together, guys.
It's going to be all right, guys.
Just now, Chinomir forced Maokai off of lane.
Keep pushing, Vector. Come on.
He's pushing the heck out of the wave. Don't hit the tower. Don't hit the tower. Go roam. Go help with Herald. Chinomir is crashing a wave onto tower. He's going to go ahead and slap chop that tower a little bit.
It's
Special
back.
rubbing mid again.
Uh-oh, he's going to get the death sentence here. Tennoman has to run away, burning from the Ignite. Doesn't have the ultimate available, will survive regardless. Stream is back. Thank you for bearing with us, guys. Appreciate the patience, and shout out to production for doing great work there and getting that fixed. Meanwhile, Daimler flashing away. He's burning from the Ignite, flash away for CLG Factor. He's going to survive. Chat Jungle, the shield, it's not enough. And it's Damiurge, so that's actually an I in his name. I'm not sure how to pronounce that exactly, but apologies if we've been mispronouncing it. Maestro here taking a lot of damage. It's a 2v3 here, but he's throwing out some big axes, and he's got one kill. Gizzard's trying to get away. He may not survive, but the roam is actually here. It's a double kill as Pharrell Lord shows up, and that's a 3 for 0.
No! And top lane tower goes down. I would have lost that bet.
That's a point for Yeso.
That is 1-1 on the bet department. But wow, everything just went wrong for TDS across the map. Top lane gets dove. That's back-to-back being forced back out of lane from the Maokai. He's now about 50 CS down in that top lane matchup. Near unsalvageable, especially considering it's a Trinomir. Bot side was where TDS was hoping to make a cross-map play. Rengar was actually sacrificing his top laner there to make something happen on the bot side. However, that does get turned around. Now they're against a 6-0 Draven. Balling Tower drops moments after the top lane, and this game is completely torn open for Blanket Boys.
It's a big sad, my friend.
Man.
It's actually really close to the top lane tower, or the bot lane tower did not take much
Yeah,
longer.
I was just thinking about that. I was like, oh my goodness. If Maokai could have just survived a little bit longer on that dive, but it's so hard against a Trinomir, it really is.
Yep. Pharrell Lord going to back away, gets the scout of the week here, continues to land these skill shots consistently on the Syndra. Low on mana right now, so isn't too much of a threat to the kill. Here comes Chat Jungle, though, is going to miss with the Sonic Wave. He'll just back away here. Pharrell Lord probably happy just to back to base here while that lane is just going to reset. Spend that gold.
He's got his bot lane around here to catch the next wave, so it's not like he's losing any tempo on this reset. And he has pretty strong CS advantage as well. It's important that when you do have a CS advantage like this, that you back on tempo to actually make use of that gold lead. Otherwise, you're just giving the enemy laner more and more opportunities to close the gap. Here's Thresh going for a pretty preemptive flash there, but I think it was, you know, it's better to live than not to live, honestly.
Oh,
Leona
Duck, the axes, the ultimate's going to miss from Maestro there, and Duck will just escape. We also do have to note, CLG Factor was able to solo out the Rift Herald there and pick that one up. So the Trinomir only going to be a bigger split push threat here for the next couple of minutes. And now mid lane, tier 1 under threat. Maestro going to easily be able to take that down with the help of his team. Rift Herald that's actually going to be dropped in mid lane here, instantly enough. So they want to push heavily for this tier 2 tower. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, big trouble for a depressed Korean. Is just going to get 100-0 by Pharrell Lord. Now Chad Jungle in the mid lane looking for the kick, but he's going to get taken down by the Maokai, and now Blanket Boys has to retreat.
So two things. One, heralding mid there, pretty bad play in my opinion in terms of macro-based play. Because you had a situation there where your Syndra is stronger in the 1v1. Your Trinomir has, okay, let's go to the ring and go in first.
Boom Train's going to go in here, but Gizzard's is going to take him down, and Maestro now looking to cash in once more. He's got the axes. Duck, you're not going to escape this time. That's a godlike Draven as Maestro gets another. Now Factor pushing in mid. Good death sentence there. He's going to catch Damiurge. Again, apologies if I'm mispronouncing that. If you give me a little pronunciation guide in Twitch chat, if you are watching TDS, I would love to make sure I say it right here. Hit the straw poll, guys. Tell me how Bjergsen's beard is better than mine. Infernal Drake getting taken by Blanket Boys. What?
You say you'd love to say it properly, but I know you. I know behind, when we're on our breaks, he actually gets pleasure from saying your guys' names incorrectly.
Sure, that's me.
Yeah. I know it's you.
I just do it for kicks.
I need to tell the viewers what they need to hear. Thresh going in with a great hook.
Gizzers with the setup. They're going to get in behind Depressed Korean. Pharrell Lord is here, but it's actually going to get just focused by Depressed Korean. He just flashes in the middle of 3, but Chad Jungle able to get 1 kill. Can he get more? He's burning from the Ignite, but he may have the damage. He's waiting for his cooldowns.
Rocket W should be up in a few more seconds. It's up to, let's see who he goes for. Thresh.
Oh, he misses the Sonic Wave. Good play here from Gizzers. There's not a lot of damage from Blanket Boys right here.
Leona's
Maybe
has
an advantage.
flash.
Chad Jungle looking to maybe bait something.
Oh!
Good kick. Down goes Duck Duck. Chad Jungle able to dash away from trouble. That's another good kill here for Blanket Boys.
Wow, great way to turn that play around from coming out of Chad Jungle. I think that's a really strong example with the, oh, wow, that crit.
That took half of Tendo Man's health, and the last third will be taken by Maestro's final axe. Another kill for the Draven. That is terrifying. I played against a Draven the other day, and as soon as he got his first item, Infinity Edge, it wasn't that early, but I was playing Nami, and he half helped me with one axe, and I was just like, what is this champion right now?
Yeah, that's actually the exact play that we see here, the Bloodthirster IE. Yeah, he's basically just alone in this mid lane, is not afraid of anything. If anyone comes up to him, he's going to take about half their health and damage.
He's just easily able to sidestep the Solar Flare there. He'll eat a tower shot, but takes down the tier 2 soon afterwards. And Blanket Boys, at 16 minutes, are looking to pressure. They want this mid lane inhibitor tower. Meanwhile, Damerge on the side is going to drop the Nature's Advance, but it doesn't really do much here. Fallen Lord has to back away. Redemption there dropped by Gizzers, rushing that item right after his support item. They're still looking for this tower. It's at about 2/3 health. Oh, good scout of the week will land onto Leona. Here comes Chad Jungle. He's going to get the kill on Tendo Man. Ultimate is not available for the kill, and down he goes. Duck Duck soon follows. That's 2 kills for Blanket Boys, and they're looking for the mid lane inhibitor. Death Sentence will miss. Depressed Korean able to juke out of that one, but Maestro's going to half health him with an axe. You got to be terrified of this Draven. He's coming for you, folks.
Yeah, and there really is not much that TDS can do. With Rengar and Maokai ults both down, with Leona dead as well, with Leona ult down as well, there should be 2 free inhibitors for Blanket Boys.
Fallen Lord will take a little bit of damage, but not too scared. That's 2 inhibitors before the 17-minute mark, and they may rotate.
Pretty sure they're going to keep going. Pretty sure they're going to keep going, actually. They're actually, right now, they're playing off of Thresh hooks. It looks like they will go for the reset. I think you guys can keep going for a little bit more fights. It looks like they actually want to. Yeah, okay, they're going to bait a play.
Oh, good. Death Sense is going to catch out Duck Duck, combined with the Scout of the Week. Beautiful kick from Chad Jungle. Tendo Man's in trouble. He's able to use the ultimate, but it's not enough. Shield G Factor takes down Boom Trains. Now they're going to get onto the AD carry. That is the Killer Instinct away from Depressed Korean. Can he escape? Just using the safety of the tower for now. Gizzer's going to take a couple tower shots. Be careful here. Nearly going down, but it's still a 5 versus 2.
So close.
Damerge going down. That CLG Factor with another kill. Solar Flare will miss. Depressed Korean is still on the wrong side of the base here. A Cathian Rain.
Oh,
that's the ult on the tower from CLG Factor, and that's a double kill. The Ignite is now burning from Duck Duck. Can Factor get away? Maestro's here. They're just continuing the pressure. Duck Duck taking so much damage. Flash away will keep the Leona alive, but Blanket Boys is dominating this game.
Yeah, my goodness. I'm really happy to see the call from Blanket Boys to continue to press their advantage there. When you're this far ahead and you have a champion with long-range pick like the Thresh, and all of you have a pretty healthy amount of health, all you really have to do is draw them away from their towers, land a hook, and go right back into it.
Yeah, just play off of the Death Sentence.
Yeah, and I love that call to go ahead and maximize the value that they could have gotten from grouping in that moment. In the game before, when we saw another team start grouping 5 in mid and rotate from S5 from mid to bottom, I think it was against the Rise. In that kind of game, it was a bit worse of a call because the enemy team had great wave clear, and because their team had they weren't so strong in 5v5 team fighting. Oh my goodness.
Oh, goodbye.
So
Depressed Korean just gets 1v1 by Maestro at the bot lane inhibitor tower. This Draven is insane. Another Death Sentence on a Damerge. He's going to drop the Nature's Advance, and Blanket Boys bottom lane will just back away from pressure. Going to continue to clear out waves. Meanwhile, mid and top lane just minion waves. Super minions being escorted into the base here. And finally, they'll get the space. They're going to take their 3rd inhibitor. And this is now a 20,000 gold lead from Blanket Boys, and they're looking to close things out. That's going to be the box dropped here. Free fire on the axes, and Gizzers takes down the Maokai. Here comes Blanket Boys looking for another beautiful hook. That is a Depressed Korean caught and taken down. Duck Duck's not going to escape. That's another kill for Blanket Boys, and it's just 2 left to defend, but it's not going to be enough. Maestro just standing at the feet of the fountain, just firing axes over. They're going to look for the kills, but they'll just take the Nexus. Blanket Boys with a dominant victory here to move on in Late Night League Week 6.
Tencats couldn't have said it better myself. Blanket Boys got them blankets. They really just turned off the lights, dropped a blanket on the enemy team. That game was looking relatively close for the first, like, what, 10 minutes or so, 10, 15 minutes?
Yeah.
And then it just got really out of hand pretty sudden. Or actually, it wasn't that close.
I mean, they took double 2 inhibitors
Yeah.
at like 17 minutes, so.
Well, yeah, it was the two towers at top and bot side at about 11 minutes
It
or so.
accelerated really quickly, though.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was trying to get at there. But again, another very strong performance coming out of Blanket Boys. Definitely one of our stronger teams in the tournament. Really love to see that proactive style of play coming from the bot lane. Not only closing out their own lane in 2v2, but finding those roam opportunities to get the Thresh out of bot lane, get him involved with the mid lane, roaming in mid lane twice, roaming in jungle twice, breeding his jungler along with him. Really great macro play coming out of Gizzers.
Yeah, I mean, looked really clean top to bottom there from the side of Blanket Boys. With kind of what we see from them on a consistent basis. Sometimes they go a little aggressive and get punished for it, but overall the team play is really good. Really just dominant mechanical players top to bottom for them as well.
Yeah.
And it's able to push them to a victory. So they take the win there. They'll move on to face off against Hell Yeah Gaming, I believe, in our winners semifinal. And we can update you with the results of our poll. It is 2/3 of you in favor of Bjergsen's beard better than mine. You made the right choice.
Come on, guys.
I love my beard. I think I look better with it than I do clean shaven or with the mustache. But Bjergsen's is better. Daddy Bjerg. I mean, he's so handsome. And he's way better at League than I am.
I mean, one of those statements is true. Only one of them. Yeah.
All right, maybe I'm a little better at him than League. No, that is blasphemy. Thank you guys for participating in the poll and having a little fun with us there while we were buying some time before our first game after the break. We're preparing to drop into our next game, so bear with us. We'll have that matchup for you here in just a moment. But I'm going to take a peek at the bracket here one more time. You guys remember you can hit !bracket in Twitch chat to take a peek at where we're standing. But we're at the winners semifinals. Our matchups are Blanket Boys versus Hell Yeah Gaming, and we've got Upper Moon versus Fruitcake.
Really excited about
so
that second
we are actually set up. Winners final is going to be really good.
Yeah.
It's going to be really good. Like,
yeah.
I don't think, I mean, if I'm a betting man, I don't think Hell Yeah Gaming is going to be able to take down Blanket Boys here. You never know what could happen in a best of one, but I have to pick Blanket Boys there. And that means we get Blanket Boys either against Upper Moons or Fruitcake, which are two very good teams. And I'm really hoping for an Upper Moons Blanket Boys matchup. Every week I'm looking forward to that because these are our two best teams in the West. They are neck and neck right now, as we showed you in the standings earlier today. Yeah, 36 points for Blanket Boys, 35 for Upper Moons.
It does not get closer than that, besides like a tie.
Nope.
Like that's the only situation where it's closer than that.
There you go. There's your results, folks.
Terrible.
I appreciate it. Some of you guys lied, like you folks right here. That's all lies. I appreciate the love. I do. I love it. But
if I wasn't
I love, and I do love you guys. You're a kook. Daddy Yeso. Yes, Yeso loves you guys. I appreciate it.
Best in the West.
Best in the West. Yeah.
I like the second one more. When you can take out T's whenever possible.
Best in the West.
Yeah, you do it. Like, if you can take a letter out of a word, if there's anything I've ever learned in my 24 years on this planet, it's to take out letters wherever possible. It's just optimal. You're using less breath and you're getting the same mileage out of your words.
Best in the West.
Yeah, exactly. Like, don't you feel better saying it that way?
Sure. We actually are going to go to a break now, guys, with a little bit of that delay. We're going to reset here. Everybody's going to take a breath. We're going to stand up and stretch our legs. You guys should do the same. Run out and grab a water, soda, whatever you need. Get your snacks, but get back really fast because when we return, we're going to have more late night league action for you. Week 6 continues when we return. gets one. Good morning, good evening, and good night. It is Monday, November 4th, and we are back with Late Night League Week 6. Yeso, Latman, and more league action for you folks. Welcome back. We're getting ready for a matchup between Upper Moons and Fruitcake. This should be a fun one.
This is a really exciting one. Definitely one of the matchups that I've been most interested to see tonight, because it's a matchup where it's not one of the top two teams that we have in the standings, but it's a team in Fruitcake that is absolutely able to take one of those top two spots.
And I would say Fruitcake is, when we mentioned AHS Black from last season, that team that charged up in the last 2 weeks thanks to
The
those
most
double
likely
points.
team to do that.
Yes,
Yeah,
Fruitcake,
agreed.
100%. They are in third, if memory serves, at 12 points. Obviously, that gap is big but not insurmountable. So we'll have to see if they can perform. It will definitely be important, though, that they try and get this win here. Is Juicy going to flash away, caught in the event horizon there of NorCal, so they force out an early summoner spell of the Upper Moon's support. So I think Fruitcake going to be happy with that start. And an interesting point we were kind of touching on in production as we got to watch Champion Select in the back before we came back here was the team fighting from both of these teams. Granted, a lot of games have not been going very late. Team fights have been disjointed, and sloppy may not be the right word, but it wasn't a lot of your standard 5v5, run at each other kind of setups. But we were talking a little bit about it. Give me your thoughts then on the team fighting of these two competitions and kind of where you think that the strength lies.
So essentially, Upper Moons has a pretty good. They have really good sources of crowd control. You have crowd control in Kennen, Pantheon, Shen, Morgana. Plenty of AoE, plenty of single target damage. The one glaring flaw is that they have no range damage. So they excel in engage, they excel in chaining CC, but they don't excel in getting on your target. Fruitcake, on the other hand, are on the complete other side of the spectrum. Except when it comes to CC, they have really great CC forms in the Veigar, in the Thresh, in. I would actually stop there. I wouldn't say that Rise, Lee Sin are really consistent forms of CC in team fighting, but Veigar Cage is one of the best forms of CC in the game. On the other hand, you have one of the best forms of peeling and of kiting in the game in Xayah. Xayah's entire kit is solely designed to be able to kite a team out and turn effectively. So here we have like a battle of opposites, where you have one of the best kiting and turning champions in the game versus one of the best engage comps in the game, especially in the Kennen, which I'm very interested to see going into the bot lane with the Morgana. That's a throwback to I think Reckless is one of the most prevalent AD carries who really loved to play this lane matchup back in the day.
Ooh, some trouble in the bottom lane. Juice is going to drop the black shield, but still a lot of damage coming out. That's going to be first blood for Yurashi here. Next bet, we're tied at 1-1. You Maniac?
Well, he died.
Hello?
Yes. Yes. I should have made that bet, like split second bet right then and there.
Who is going to have the most kills at the end of this game?
I'm gonna go ahead and say Fruitcake, because I think overall, cohesively from what we've seen in the past, Upper Moons may be a bit of a stronger team. But every time I see Intman and Agani get this Xayah Thresh duo and balling, I think they are pretty much near unstoppable on it.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and put my eggs in the Fruitcake basket.
Okay, I will take that. I think Upper Moons will have more kills. Let's hear what you guys think in Twitch chat. Which team is going to get more kills in this game? Do you got Upper Moons or Fruitcake? Wonder Ginger going in for a solid trade here with the Pantheon. Really kind of our single Pantheon main in the late night league scene here. NorCal is in trouble, trying to hobble away on the Veigar, but it will not be enough. That's a solo kill for Wonder Ginger.
Yeah, really good knowledge of your limits coming out of Wonder Ginger there. NorCal, he thought he was safe after he played out the first round of Pantheon. I think that's his E, the shield. Oh, TP back into lane on the mini wave. Gonna get punished for it.
Oh no, this is big trouble. Flash in from
Yes,
you,
flash.
Maniac. Flash away from NorCal.
Should be fine.
We'll save his life, but that was a little unnecessary. He didn't need to go up that far and lose his flash.
Yeah, I think that's a very common mistake that you even see at the LCS level, where you see, basically, whenever you have a mini wave that's outside of your tower, you never TP on the minion. Always TP on your tower, because if there's a jungler waiting around, knowing that you're going to want to TP back into the wave, the easiest way for you to get ganked is if you TP onto the mini wave. Great hook to predict the flash.
Yeah, Pathetic's in trouble here, taking so much damage. The Blade Caller will not lock him down, but it does not matter. That's one kill for Intman, but Qatar has TP down to the bottom lane. They're trying to chase down Agani here.
Pantheon should be able to cut him off on the other side. Agani is going to be forced to just waste time. He's certainly dead here. Unless you can
He
get
may be able to get
the
the execute, though. If he actually just walks to the inhibitor tower, he should. Oh,
yeah.
Is it
Looks like
late
it's an
enough?
execute.
Agani, one more tower shot. He does. He gets the execute there. Good job from
Well
Agani
played.
to not give a kill over to Fruitcake. Meanwhile, NorCal in the mid lane. He's in trouble. No flash anymore, and Wonder Ginger is going to get his second kill.
So, you know, all things considered, outside of the mid lane, Fruitcake is doing a very phenomenal job. They have a great CS lead on top side, and they have a bot lane that's gaining momentum, especially considering that it's a Kennen. That matchup should only get better for the Xayah as time passes. However, NorCal dying twice already this early in the game against a Pantheon is a very worrying sign, because essentially means Lee Sin can no longer play through mid lane for the rest of this early game, and a jungler like Lee Sin really needs to be able to walk through mid as efficiently as possible.
Ant-Man in trouble here, able to flash away and gets the lantern from Agani, so he will be safe. Do want to shout out to Doubt Spartan here. Wants to join a team. Doubt Spartan, I would recommend join our Discord server if you're looking for more League players. Even if you're not necessarily local to any of our locations, that's going to be a great place to go and meet some new players. I believe production can do me a solid and drop that link in Twitch chat for me. So bear with me just a second here.
A couple other things. One, vice versa. Thank you for following. Thank you for your continued support and
Thank you,
patronage.
Kathy.
Also, Pan the Man, if you are looking for some resources on trying to pick up tips on how to get better at the game, I think on YouTube you can find some really great replay sources. One in particular is Skill Capped. If you go ahead and look up Skill Capped on YouTube, they put out some really great free content on YouTube. Besides that, just make sure you are playing the game a decent amount, but it's just as important to watch footage and to learn from the pros while you're playing those games. Going back to the game, we just saw a kill on the top side. Rise going ahead and dying to the Shen. Was that a solo kill? I believe it was.
Yeah, I believe so. In the mid lane, they're going to get a big collapse here on a Wonder Ginger. He's trying to buy some time. Maniac's on his way. They're going to collapse on a NorCal, and down he goes. That's a kill for Wonder Ginger. Now they're looking for more. Agani trying to back away, but he may eat a stun here as Qatar did use his ultimate to get down here, and that's actually going to be the hook to set up the shutdown for Yarashi. Wonder Ginger still takes down Agani, so it's a 2-4-2.
Oh,
Or a 2
and
for
the
1, I
flash
should
taunt.
say. Yarashi's in trouble. Make it another kill. Down goes the Lee Sin.
Some great mechanical play coming out of Upper Moons. Really good job of Shen being able to ult onto that fight in mid so early on. He was definitely in a great position to be able to make that happen. And I do want to point out that going for one there, the Pantheon killing the Thresh under tower, totally worth for the Pantheon. Sure, he doesn't have his Ignite, but Pantheon's base damage at this point in the game is definitely strong enough that your main concern should just be to continue to snowball yourself and get kills wherever you can.
Yeah, Wonder Ginger, he's a pretty fed boy. He's got 4 kills to his name, a little bit down in CS, but honestly with all the kills that he has, that does not matter whatsoever. And 1,000 gold lead here for Upper Moons. They're feeling pretty darn good right now, and I would say so am I.
Yeah, I may have put my money in the wrong side here. Like Upper Moons just is really consistent. I should have probably bet on them, but I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling faithful. Pretty
Well,
good.
this could be a kill here. Agani looking for the hook
Maybe
over the
some
wall.
vision. Get some vision. Oh, okay, nice. They canceled their backs.
Oh, Juicy
the-
actually sniffing that one out, but it still may not matter. So much damage coming out. NorCal's going to get that kill. Now they're going to go for the dive on a Pathetic here. No ultimate for the Kennen. Such an easy target there, and that's a double kill for the Veigar.
Great
Now to the
cross-up
top
play.
lane. They're looking for a dive on the other side of the map. Fruitcake's in trouble. He's going to go down. Maniac escapes, and Qatar grabs the kill.
So you can really see some higher level play here in this game from what we've been seeing early on in the evening. As soon as we see a play happen on bot side, the enemy team, Upper Moons, is ready to perform a cross-map play on the top side to punish. I think overall this is a net gain for Fruitcake. They were behind on tempo slightly in this early game, and because Herald hasn't spawned yet, the play on bottom is actually more of a net game advantage. Not only in the sense that they get 2 kills instead of 1 because it's a 2-man lead in bottom, but Dragon just spawned as well, and a Mountain Drake this early on, definitely a great sign for Fruitcake.
Mountain Drake for Fruitcake. So despite being back a little bit in the tempo a few minutes ago, that big dive in the bottom lane actually sets them up to grab that Drake, and they're essentially even in gold at this point. Doubt Spartan, I live near the Santa Ana Arena. Come in and visit sometime, my friend. If you ever have the time, we would love to see you. Maybe come in on Monday night, see if you could play in Late Night League. We would love to have you. Upper Moons now trying to kind of steady this game. They had a pretty significant lead for the better part of those first 10 minutes. Now we'll just have to see if they can kind of regain control here after Fruitcake was very successful in that dive in the bottom lane. I do for the Smash Bros. Love it, man. We'll see you around here on Wednesdays and Thursdays.
Yeah, you know, as long as the game continues to go in this pace, where Fruitcake is able to maintain a very small goal deficit, ideally they want to stay even. But being this far behind, totally a good sign for Fruitcake because they do absolutely outscale. They have an 80 carry, Upper Moons does not. Kennen is actually building AP, so they will have no real form of sustained ranged physical damage. And that's a big sign. Going against a team with as good of wave clear and crowd control as Fruitcake, at least in going for the gank.
Yeah, Yurashi getting after Qatar here. He's going to be able to taunt away from trouble for now. And here comes Humaniac. This is actually the bait. They're going to try and dash in. The Lee Sin is going to get away for now, but it's not going to be the same for Fruitcake. Is down goes the Rise.
That damage. Humaniac has such a great idea of how hard he can go with his Xin Zhao in the early game. Time and time again, I see players walking into Humaniac Xin, and they just die almost instantly because Upper Moons does such a great job of drafting lanes that have forms of CC that are able to set up this Xin Zhao pick. Fruitcake, on the other hand, in bot side, they are punishing Humaniac's continued presence in the top lane by really pressuring the bot lane tower, showing that the real strength of having a ranged AD carry this early on in the game. Looks like Humaniac will trade with the Rift Tower on the top side. And
oh, here comes the engage. That's the slicing maelstrom from Pathetic. Featherstorm's a little late here from Hitman, and it's not going to matter as Qatar has arrived and takes the kill. Now Agani again on the wrong side of the map here, and here comes the collapse from Wonder Ginger, the blast cone. Agani able to get away. He's got, I think he's got Moby, so he's moving pretty quick here. He's going to blast cone back towards mid lane. Is it quick enough for the execute? He's going to run and split the towers here. He's getting into the blue side. Agani taking taking Upper Moons for a little bit of a walk here. He's heading up towards top lane. Humaniac's on his way down. Can this Thresh get away? He shouldn't. He's going to avoid the spear, and he's running away. He's going to go down, just buying a whole lot of time here, getting to the tower. Wait, he's got a minion wave there? Agani? Okay, he goes down. Humaniac gets the kill.
I mean, it's nice and all to waste that much time when you are going to die anyway.
Hey, hello, Miss Molly Peters from the HyperX Esports Arena at the Luxor. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to the stream. Nice to see you.
It's nice. Oh, wow.
Goodbye. NorCal's going to go down, but already deleted Pathetic there in the 1v1 as the Kennen goes down.
Ah, tragic. He was really going for that 1-for tower play as well. That would have been awesome if he was able to trade 1-for-1 for the kill and take a tower on top of that, especially while baiting the Pantheon to the bot side. However, he does end up going down. Fruitcake, on the flip side of that, is going to go ahead and pressure this mid lane tower. Overall, not a bad death on the bot side because they are doing such a great job of taking all these outer tower platings before the 14-minute mark. Pantheon going in, he still has Z.
Yeah, Wonder Ginger.
Oh, great damage.
Trying to protect this tower, but yeah, Ant-Man pretty strong. Already has the Essence Reaver plus an extra pickaxe, so that's pretty good damage on this Xayah. And Fruitcake trying to force the issue onto this tier 1 tower in mid. Good death sense, but Ant-Man still just going to go down. And here comes Pathetic. Agani on his own once more. Can he escape again? No flash available. He's running for his life. It's not going to matter. That's a double kill for you, Humaniac.
Another fight coming on here, the bot side.
Yeah, Qatar down here already getting on a NorCal. NorCal's in trouble. He's able to get the kill on Juicy, but he will go down. He goes gold. But here comes Pathetic. Here comes the Realm Warp from Fruitcake. But it is going to be canceled. He's going to get stunned and go down the double kill for Qatar.
So once again, in that mid lane, time and time again, Yuhu Maniac has such a great idea of how to use his Zinjao burst damage, going for the Sheen this early on in the game, and he has lanes like the Kennen, the Pantheon, and the Shen able to land that initial wave of CC, which is all Zinjao really needs, to get on top and deal his burst damage. Uppermoons does such a great job of getting kills across the map with this dynamic in the early game. I think it's a big reason why we've seen Yuhu Maniac sort of shy away from his off-meta picks that we've seen so often from him. It looks like here though he's gonna get caught, is picked off freely for a kill.
Good setup there from Agani. Gets into range with the Moby Boots, lands the death sentence. They're able to perfectly chain the CC with the Blade Caller, and Ant-Man helps set up the kill that Agani grabs. Now it's an Infernal Drake, and Fruitcake wants it. Good death sentence on the Juicy. He's going to bring the Lee Sin over the wall.
Should be killable.
This is big trouble for Juicy. He's going to go down. Yurashi able to grab the kill, but actually Katar's into the pit. No way. Don't tell me he gets this.
Oh.
He does. The Infernal Drake goes to Upper Moons. Yurashi leaving the pit means he doesn't get the smite. The shutdown on a Katar does get a consolation prize for Fruitcake, but Upper Moons gets the Drake.
Yeah, you know, that's actually so tragic because Lee Sin, I really do feel like he was going to get to that dragon on time. He still had smite available. He didn't actually use it on the Morgana for that pick. However, Xayah threw one auto on the dragon while while Lee Sin was walking there, and that one auto ended up being a crit. And I think that's the sole reason why Shen was able to get the kill on that dragon before Lee Sin got into smite range. Truly an unfortunate auto from Ant-Man.
Ant-Man thinking about backing, but with Agani arriving into the mid lane, they're going to stay. They're continuing to try and pressure this tier 1 tower in mid, but they've had a rough time as Wonder Ginger is holding his own. He's going to do a lot of damage here. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, the tower will fall, but Pathetic getting some good damage here on the NorCal. There's the Featherstorm in mid lane. Blade Caller will lock down Wonder Ginger. They're looking for Agani here. He's going to land a Death Sentence, flay back into the tower, but he's actually just going to get collapsed on. The taunt lands, and Wonder Ginger takes the kill.
Yeah, time and time again, whenever Yuhu Maniac is in these lanes, Fruitcake's players really do need to respect the amount of burst damage that comes out of the Xin Zhao CC combo. Every time this Pantheon, this Shen, is anywhere close to range to land that form of CC with Xin Zhao in the lane, all you have to do is walk away. Because he will kill you time and time again. We've seen it over and over in this game so far, and in games in the past. Yuhu Maniac just has a really good sense of being able to land these kills. Big going for the full to zero.
Ooh, good job from Pathetic to avoid the primordial burst there. As here comes Wonder Ginger. They're trying to collapse onto NorCal. He's got the event horizon, but it's going to be way too late. He flashes over the wall.
I don't think he has boots though. He should be dead. Shen is coming from top side.
Yeah, Katar's going to collapse through the tri-brush.
And he's cut off. That should be a dead Veigar in just a few seconds.
Oh, just a little bit of lag, and it's back, and we're back to mid lane. NorCal, run, my friend. Meanwhile, Yuhu Maniac in the mid lane. That's going to be Yurashi going down. A little too big for his britches there. Katar's going to grab the kill onto the Veigar on the bottom lane. Meanwhile, double kill for Yuhu Maniac. Ooh, flash and aggressive here for Fruitcake, but he may get punished for it. That is the kill on a Juicy. The collapse comes through, though, and that's a triple kill for Yuhu Maniac.
Oh, the hook.
Pathetic. He's going to get caught here. He's going to go down at Agani with the kill as it's getting real bloody real fast.
Yeah, it really is, but this bloodbath that we are seeing from Upper Moons, it totally benefits them at this part of the game. Upper Moons' sole objective should be to accelerate the game and take out as many of these towers as possible in as fast as a manner as possible. The fact that they have been able to break open one side of the map completely at this point is a very good sign for them in terms of how they can close out this game. However, they do need to keep in mind, Fruitcake does have the scaling advantage still. And the fact that they aren't all that far behind in gold, despite Upper Moons having 20 kills before 20 minutes, it's a sign that Fruitcake does have resilience. They do still have a chance of winning this game.
I mean, NorCal is pretty strong at this point. Ant-Man as well.
Oh, what?
Despite their score lines, they still do quite a bit of damage here, so big damage threats from Fruitcake do have to be respected here as Juicy stepping forward. They're looking for the collapse. Yuhu Maniac in from the side. NorCal is going to get the lantern out. He's actually going to escape. The timing from Agani is perfect, and the mid laner gets out of trouble.
Yeah, great recognition from Agani to stay around mid lane with that lantern, but I really do have to say, NorCal, he's got his happy feet on. That was such a great dodge on that melee range Morgana finding.
Oh, Ant-Man's gonna go down there. Katar in the 1v1 takes out the 80 carry. God, the empowered auto attacks on the Shen Q are so strong.
Yeah,
you do
that
so
damage
much
is
damage.
insane. You know, Upper Moons does have a lot of forms of damage that It's hard to see them coming. Shen with the Triforce
That's what I
Titanic
was gonna
Hydra.
say.
Yeah, that's actually
Like, the Titanic
build.
is a standard early item for the Shen, gives you solid wave clear, and it kind of gives you, it's really kind of the only damage item you really ever need to be kind of serviceable in the role you play. But also going for the Triforce is
great
aggressive,
usage of the
and it
Shen
means
ult.
he's going to get the kill here on a Fruitcake. He's just standing in the event horizon. Doesn't even really care, taking a lot of tower shots, but he's going to survive just fine.
Well, actually, no, so I say that was okay. Thresh actually landing the hook. Looks like they do want to try to continue, but it looks like Upper Moons will get out relatively unscathed.
Just able to back away quick enough to avoid the event horizon as Fruitcake was looking for a bit of a re-engage in the 4v5, but they won't get it here. Now at near 20 minutes, both teams starting to try and set vision around the Baron as it's going to be a big inflection point here. 10 kills ahead are Upper Moons, which has me feeling pretty good here about my bet. I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah, you know, Upper Moons definitely does look like they should be primed to keep control in the mid game. They probably will be racking up a much more kills. However, one thing I do want to point out was I did initially say that was a great delivery of the Shen ult system. However, getting a kill like that for a no objective. Oh, Riot's getting the Pantheon caught here off guard. Riot can actually continue that. Fruitcake does secure the dragon.
Yeah, they're going to get this Infernal. They're also going to get a kill here as NorCal just deletes Juicy. Agani sets him up, and NorCal slams him down, and Fruitcake is immediately going to rotate to the mid lane. They know they have the numbers advantage. This tower is so low here, but NorCal is just going to get dashed on, and here comes the slicing Maelstrom. Pathetic has arrived. The Blade Caller locks down a few, but it isn't going to matter. It's a double kill for Yoo-Hoo Maniac.
Wow.
It's 4 dead for Fruitcake, and Upper Moons has the upper hand.
Wow, phenomenal pulling of the trigger there from Upper Moons. I think they did have vision of Thresh leaving his team, going around for that flank. And as soon as they saw that Thresh was not there with his teammates, without the box, without the flash lantern to help someone get out of there alive, Upper Moons knew that all they had to do was go forward. NorCal showing some really strong mispositioning errors in that mid lane siege. Agani is the only member left to contest this Baron, and surely it's a free Baron for Upper Moons.
It should be. Upper Moons does take this Baron pretty darn slow, but they should be able to get it. It's about 2,500 health. It's going to go down. That is a Baron for Upper Moons at 21.5 minutes. A dominant performance here as they're up 7,500 gold, and they're looking to balloon that lead right now.
They are. One thing I do want to point out is initially I was skeptical about that Shen ult. The reason being, notice how Shen ulted for a free kill in mid lane, but moments after that ult, it's actually Fruitcake that ends up being the team with tempo on the map, with the ability to take that first dragon and picks around the dragon. Showing that Shen ult, although it was great to get one kill under a mid lane tower, all it did was put his team behind on tempo, and they only ended up with one free kill out of it. And, you know, it actually had much more of a negative impact, you know, giving Fruitcake the advantage to get mid priority and a dragon to follow up on it. The only downside was when Thresh did leave his team to go for a flank instead of to just cleanly take that tower. That's actually such a huge negative impact on his team, because Upper Moons' entire team composition, all they have to do is go in, go forward. A flank actually does not help Fruitcake, because Fruitcake's champions are not champions designed to be able to effectively follow up on a flank and to engage onto Upper Moons. In fact, that's exactly what Upper Moons wants. They have a team composition that struggles to get in, so it's like best case scenario, Fruitcake is going in.
Yoo-Hoo Maniac's going to go for the dive here, and it will be successful as
great
NorCal goes
binding.
down. Binding's going to catch Agani, and this is big trouble here for Fruitcake.
Going in with
good
the
taunt flash, gets on to
Might have been too much,
He's
though.
going to go down. Wonder Ginger takes the kill. They trade one back as Qatar goes down here, but that's still a 3-for-1 in favor of Upper Moons, and they're looking for the mid lane inhibitor tower. Yoo-Hoo Maniac, he's kind of walking a very thin line here, but he does have the revive here. He's actually going to be just fine. That's mid inhibitor going down.
And they're
rotating
bot side as well.
side. Wow, so much pressure coming out from Upper Moons. A huge Baron power play here as they're going to take 2 inhibs in very quick succession, and they may stay for more. They're going to back away for now. They may look to rotate topside and try and claim a 3rd inhibitor with this Baron buff.
Yeah, I like the idea that, you know, so the last game that we saw this happen, I was encouraging the team to stay on the map and to continue to use their max range picks, to continue to pick fights in their base after taking these inhibitors. However, Upper Moons, yeah, they do have a form of long range pick in the Morgana, but the rest of that team composition is not long range at all. So actually overstaying your welcome there and trying to follow up and rack up kills while you're on their side of the map in their base is much riskier when you have champions that are melee range and that have to actually fully commit to those kills. So I really like the decision from Upper Moons there to take 2 inhibitors, back off, reset back onto the map. They should absolutely be satisfied with how much mileage they already got from this Baron buff.
See how it works. They're starting to move their way up to the top side. Yurashi is going to be able to dash over the wall here into the red buff, but he may not be out of trouble quite yet because here comes Yuhu Maniac. Katara, meanwhile, back in the bottom lane looking to continue to apply pressure here. Baron buff near worn off here. Wonder Ginger has it, and they're starting to pressure this top side again. Keep looking for the response here. They're going to go into the jungle. They'll spot out Wonder Ginger, but the support is on its way. That's a good hook, but it may not be good enough as here comes Yuhu Maniac. That's a very big Xin Zhao. The binding lands onto Agani. The shield from Yurashi will discourage any further aggression from Upper Moons, but they're still going to loop back around to the top side, take this tier 2 tower, and they're looking to continue the push.
Yeah, one thing I would want to point out there, Lee Sin W into that ward to land the Q, totally unnecessary, because that W is your only real tool to make a play happen with as a Lee Sin at this point in the game. W into that ward only removes your ability to actually make a play happen after landing that Q.
Oh, they're going to go for the engage here. NorCal's going to go down. There's the slicing Maelstrom on the 3. That's the Feather Sword, but it's not enough. A double kill for the Pantheon, and that is 4 dead for Fruitcake. Pathetic gets the kill. They're going to take down the inhibitor, and they're looking for the win. What a decisive engage from Upper Moons, and they're looking to finish this up. They're going to dive under the tower. Fruitcake's going to die. The flash doesn't matter. It's the ace and the win for Upper Moons and for your boy Yeso, because that's more kills for Upper Moons.
I should have seen that one coming, honestly. That was definitely a misbet on my part. And I gotta say, I couldn't have said it better myself. Such explosive engages coming out of Upper Moons. Yeah, whatever, man. Like we've got a whole.
Hey, you were flaming me at the top of the broadcast. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, no, you're right. Of course. Like it's only natural to flame while you're ahead.
Yeah. The real flame comes before the game. That's the real flame. It's easy to talk smack after you win.
Dude,
right.
This guy's been reading The Art of War.
Is that in the Art of War?
I don't know.
Is there a smack talk section in the Art of War?
No, I'm sure there is. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Definitely
we are going to drop right into our next game, actually, here. We do have Blanket Boys versus Hell Yeah Gaming. We're 24 minutes in, and this is a bloody game here as we're going to get a fight. Pickle Spray is going to get a kill here on the Fizz.
Oh.
Maestro, what a beautiful last breath. Catches 3, but it's not enough as Boop takes the kill, and Hell Yeah Gaming staying alive, down 8,000 gold. They've got to deal with minions in their base, but they aren't dead yet.
Yeah, barely mistimed that Yasuo ult. Actually, he had a chance to get all 3 of them with that Yasuo ult. Doesn't quite get it. Shen was actually mid lane. It ended up being a Kennen Morgana bot lane that went into the Xayah. And actually, the Xayah lane did end up steamrolling bottom themselves. They were actually the first tower to drop on their stand of the
and
team.
let's be clear, it actually wasn't a Shen bot. That was just a difference in draft, and so apologies for that, not switching it on our HUD, but it actually was the Shen top lane, still steamrolling like crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, that was an insane score, but it was the Kennen in the
Kennen
bottom
Morgana
lane.
bot lane.
And yes, Doubt Spartan, I am losing the beard pull, as I should be. As I mentioned earlier, I literally you could see it on stream, but while we were on stream, I literally voted for Bjergsen, so he should win. Come on, let's be honest. I can check the results here. Has my loss gotten any worse? Oh, I can vote for Bjergsen again?
No.
Awesome.
All right, now you're cheating. Oh, you already voted on this poll. Thank goodness.
Dang.
Oh, great hook from Gizzers. Max range hook on the Morgana. Looks like that will be a dead orbit.
Orbit.
Or
He's
will
gonna
it?
escape? Are you kidding me?
Orbit, more like or will it? It's getting late.
All right, here, Blanket Boys. Looking to force the issue and try and grab a win here. They've got one Infernal Drake, but Hell Yeah Gaming has actually had quite a bit of control over the Drake Pit as they actually are sitting on a cloud and 2 oceans here, interestingly enough. But the one thing to note, 0 towers taken by Hell Yeah Gaming. All those 24 kills, none of them have been able to set up for a tower taken. It actually looks like, I don't know if they've even done any damage to mid and bot lane towers. It's just a little bit to the top side, and Hell Yeah Gaming has certainly been on the back foot this entire game. Now they're trying to defend their bottom lane inhibitor. Mid is already dead. They've got the little trap line set up, but there is a path for Blanket Boys to get in here. Oh, there's the hook. Goodbye. Fiora Logwin goes down. Factor's gonna take the kill, and Blanket Boys has their opening. Bot lane inhibitor will
They're
fall,
going
but that
for it.
is
Fizz
the
is going for an
fish
engage.
on a Pharrell Lord. But meanwhile, Maestro's able to take down I'm Rabbit. He's looking for more. Factor is dismounted. Their poop's going to go
Oh!
down. That's the keg taking him out as the Fizz able to get one kill. Maestro is dead, but it's still a 3v1 here for Blanket Boys. They're looking to finish it off. The double kill for Chad Jungle. Down go the Nexus Towers, and we drop in and see the win. We will get the matchup we were asking for, ladies and gentlemen. We've got Blanket Boys taking the win here, and they will move on to face Upper Moons in the winners bracket
wow.
final. Oh, the pool takes out Chad Jungle. That's a big sad, but it doesn't matter as Blanket Boys will win.
Yeah, I think that game, the kill score actually doesn't tell the whole story. 34-27 looks relatively close, but like you said, no tower damage actually dealt on that mid lane and bot lane towers. Really indicates that Blanket Boys might have just been playing with their food.
Which is something they've been known to do.
Yeah.
It
Oh
happens.
yeah.
Look at this man. He's got the jackets off. He means business now. You know we're really getting into the nitty gritty of this week of Late Night League.
I'm just really excited about these high quality games that we're about to be watching, that we have been watching.
Yeah.
And just wanted to make sure I'm putting forth my best performance, taking off the jacket, you know. I've got some bets to win.
I'd say you were. We'll just say it now. If you guys need more information about Late Night League or any of the other leagues that we are running, remember we've got them going on throughout the week. Make sure to head to the link down here at the bottom of your screen, esportsarena.com/Walmart. Check out everything we got going on. All the information you're going to need is going to be right down there. Winners Finals is done. And the two teams that we expected to move on we get a phenomenal matchup between our two teams. I'll actually check with production if we can possibly bring up our standings one more time. I would love to remind you guys just kind of where we sit at. There they are. Thank you so much, guys. Blanket Boys and Upper Moon. That is the next game in our winners finals. Just a single point separating these two top teams from the West, and it's certainly going to be a hype matchup. And the interesting thing will be then, as Fruitcake heads down to the losers bracket, is can they get redemption? They have the opportunity to win their way back up to the grand finals, but if they do, they're going to have to face either Upper Moons again or Blanket Boys, and they're going to have to take the win that time. So we'll see if they get that opportunity. But meanwhile, I'm just hyped. We got our two top teams facing off in the winners finals just the way it should be, and it should be pretty good one.
Yeah, both of these teams are looking really primed to give some strong performances, and when they do eventually meet each other. I think last week we did see them play against each other, and it was a phenomenal series. It was one of the best examples that we've seen in Late Night League, where not only was it a bloodbath, regardless of the fact that they were pretty evenly matched in the early game, they did great jobs of avoiding the first, I think 5 minutes of ganks, and then it was just a really strong game of give and take in the early through mid game. But the team that did end up falling behind in the mid game, I think it was it Blanket Boys?
No, Upper Moons went down.
Yeah.
In the first matchup we saw when we
Upper
got to
Moons
see them in the winner finals.
lost the first matchup,
Yes, they
right?
did.
So Blanket Boys actually was behind in the mid game. They were behind by a good few thousand gold against Upper Moons, but they were able to show some really strong macro-based play where they were able to group consistently, make very strong vision-based picks, and they really clawed their way back into the game. Both in terms of team fighting, in terms of how they were able to bait out overextensions and turn on them, and also in terms of how they were able to group around the right parts of the map at the right times. And to me personally, that's some of the most exciting League of Legends that I can expect that I can see from Late Night League.
Yeah.
Is moments where a team is behind and is able to come out ahead through proper macro-based play. And I'm really excited to see that kind of dynamic come out again when these two teams are able to match up against each other.
Definitely will be interesting to watch. And one thing to note with the way things shook out last week when they faced in the winners bracket, Blanket Boys took the win, but Upper Moons won their way through the losers bracket, returned in the grand final. They actually reset the bracket. So
Really?
they won that first game at Grands. They ended up losing in the final game, so Blanket Boys did take the win last week, but Upper Moons was able to force the reset. So these teams can beat each other. They can trade wins. So it's a difficult choice to make on who you think is going to win, because I think these teams are so close, so evenly matched. Doubt Spartan in chat. Who's your guys' mains, Lapman?
Champion or role? I'm gonna go ahead and say both. AD carry for role.
Yep.
My main overall, historically, I probably have the most games at the highest level of play recorded on Corki. But he hasn't been in AD carry for a while.
Nope.
Yeah, not at all. So
He's too good at roaming the map to not have him in mid lane. That's the problem. Like his passive is way too strong as a mid laner.
that's true.
It's almost wasted in bot. That's the
Yeah.
problem.
Ever since they changed him, yeah. I do think that my main champion right now would probably be I have to. It's a toss up between Lucian and Caitlyn. I would
Okay.
say. What about you?
Lucian's pretty fun. I played him in Earth. He's pretty weird.
Well, I bet he
It's
is.
so fun. You're dashing
You
so
just
much.
dash everywhere.
I'm a support main, 100%. The in terms of champions, it kind of shifts, right? I was a Bard main a ton when he came out.
Yeah.
Sadly, he's just so rarely kind of viable in the bottom lane. He just has so many rough matchups. That's the problem, right? His
He
health
does.
pool is so low, and you're so susceptible. You're really immobile. But when he's meta, I really love to play him. Otherwise, I played Rakan a ton after release. But right now, like in the current meta, I'm playing casters, playing a lot of Nami, playing a lot of Janna, stuff like that.
Mm,
But I play tons of different champions. I'm kind of all over the place.
mm.
I also love a lot of off meta supports. I love things like the Shen. I was playing Gragas support years before it was actually like a thing. I was
That's a
telling
good
you
one.
earlier about playing the Maokai support. I've played some Zac support. That's a really interesting
Zach
one.
support.
That one's kind of
Oh.
that was so funny. Like just
Ugh.
slingshotting out of brushes just in lane. Like you're just permanently like lane ganking. But I mean, when I first started playing like competitive league, like playing in like online tournaments and stuff,
Yeah.
my Gragas actually used to be permabanned against me. It was really fun
That's
because
that must feel great.
people didn't know how to deal with it. It's actually really funny. So
Yeah.
that was back when you just built him tank. Like his base damages were better, so your dueling was actually just so sick.
I'd
in bottom
imagine.
lane.
I'm actually surprised that Gragas support wasn't more popular back at that time, because Alistar was actually one of the most prevalent supports in that
Yes.
meta, and Gragas absolutely dumps on
Yes.
Alistar. Yeah.
So it's just like I'm like the body slam takes priority almost on over almost every form of CC
Every
in
spell
the
in the
game,
game. Yeah,
and you
every
can
dash.
set things up with your ultimate. Like I love Gragas support. I don't play it as much now just because I haven't felt as good on kind of those aggressive engage supports lately. I've just been like I'm just gonna play Nami or Janna, and I'm just gonna shield you or heal you and just wait until we get into the action. But we are into the action now as we're in Champion Select. We've got winners finals coming to you folks. Blanket Boys versus Upper Moons in a very loud Champion Select as well. But we are into
my
it.
volume's just fine.
Yours
You
was
get your ears checked out.
Maybe I just got hypersensitive. I'm not trying to flame. Wow. Production just throwing some shade my way.
So.
I'm sorry that my ears are so delicate, okay? I'm a
That's part
special
of it.
snowflake.
Midari and Morgana, I see that you love wave clearing. Not bad at all.
Never a bad thing.
So I do want to start out by saying
What?
production is just going off on JC. I love it.
Do I have to acknowledge that message in Twitch chat production?
Oh, 25-month subscription. Shamona hey.
Shimonahi,
Shimonahi.
thank you. But I thought we were cool, man. I thought we were cool, bro.
Oh, awesome. I do want to point out, I really like Blake Boyce's bands. I've been saying it throughout the night. Yoo-Hoo Maniac is a monster in Xin and his team, like, yeah, they know how to play around him in general. Like, whenever he was picking these champions like Kai'Sa jungle, Twitch jungle, etc., I was always saying that, yeah, as much as Yoo-Hoo Maniac is great at being in the right place at the right time, it takes a whole team to make that dynamic work.
Yeah.
And it's so much more effective when you have laners who know how to pick strong, sustained forms of CC, and you just pick a jungler that's able to one-shot, like the Xin Zhao. I think that's a much more consistent way to win at this level of play, and I'm really happy to see Blanket Boys acknowledge that and take out the Xin.
I love that we get Gizzers on his Thresh again. We won't be counting missed hooks this time, but I do want to note Doubt Spartan in Twitch chat
Yeah.
says, Latman, I'm calling you out. If you choose the right team that wins, I'll sub. So I guess we just make that our next bet.
Yeah.
Just to be clear, it's a 2-1 lead for Yeso.
Yeah,
In
okay,
case
yeah,
anybody was keeping count.
This
I
bet
wasn't,
is
but,
worth
you know,
so
it
much
is what
more
it
than that one bet.
But this is worth a point and a sub.
Yeah.
Latman, we'll wait. We're going to wait until
We'll wait for
Champion
Champ
Select
Select.
finishes.
Yeah.
But we're going to let Latman choose who he thinks is
I'm
win.
excited.
Is Lethality Rush more viable now, you think? On champs like Talon, Zed, Kha'Zix, etc. Basically any AD assassins. Don't most AD assassins typically just rush lethality anyway? They're just trying to assassinate people in those early levels when they aren't able to build the armor. Isn't that pretty just standard?
Yeah, you know, Armac, I read that and I was like, is he onto something? Wait, no, he's not, because that already happened.
It just is. Like,
Yeah.
that's just, yeah. One thing that's been really interesting, and I don't know if this is just an Earth thing, but the funny thing I've been seeing is, like, Yomu's rushes on Caitlyn's. Like, Caitlyn's rushing early lethality.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
it's
actually really
actually
good.
gross.
Yeah,
It
it's
is
really good.
actually disgusting.
Yeah.
So I feel like, yeah. But I think Leality Rush is just, like, kind of standard for AD assassins.
Typically, yeah.
You know, you want to delete the squishies.
I really like how you point out that Caitlyn with lethality build is actually really scary when
It's
she is
terrible.
ahead on a more
Dude,
like
her
Earth.
Piltover Peacemaker does so much
Yeah.
damage.
And one thing that is actually more viable on the Caitlyn that I actually haven't seen so far in Late Night League is Essence Reaver into IE on Caitlyn. You don't have to actually build a Zeal item so early. Stacking crit chance on her is very effective, especially with the headshot.
Sure.
And her R and Q values when you hit level 11 with an IE and an ER, ridiculous. You one-shot the wave almost entirely with your Q,
Yeah.
and your R will do about half HP on most squishy champions. It's definitely a build that if any of you guys are playing AD carry, you play Caitlyn, you haven't had a chance to try Essence Reaver into IE yet, I would totally recommend that you guys try it out.
All right, so we're waiting for our last ban here from Blanket Boys. Blanket Boys have put together their bottom lane and mid, so waiting for jungle and top. And the interesting thing here is, will we see a possible, we could see a counter pick available for Chad jungle. We have the Echo selected, which can flex between jungle and mid.
Yeah, but we're about to find that out right now, I think.
Yeah, I mean, unless
Well, they'll
Upper
pick
Moons
sup- they
picks
should
their
pick
support.
here. Yeah, they should pick support here. Oh. It should be support.
Like, if you pick support,
Yeah.
you hide.
Good. All right.
Yeah,
that
that's
makes
the smart
sense.
pick. Because then
Yeah.
you hide, you don't know where the Echo's going quite yet, and that just gives you more flexibility. And then it gives you, you know, counter pick ability and stuff for that last pick, because now Maestro and Gizzers are picking for top end jungle. Now, counter pick opportunity for Factor. You know the Kled's going to go top side, so you can take kind of your best matchup there, whatever you're feeling most confident in, and the blind pick jungler will be the Elise. Totally fine with that. Now I'm curious to see, do they go for something to try and dive the Kled? The hard thing is Kled is so difficult to dive.
Yeah, I actually would say that it's probably more likely that they'll go ahead and pick a jungler that, or you're thinking of top laner disenchantment with the Elise on top side. I don't think you actually, okay. I do like the Irelia, actually, because in this tournament in general, in the Late Night League, we see a lot of strong top laners with the Irelia pick. A lot of these top laners that do to pick the Irelia, they have a very strong sense of how to make that pick work in the mid game. And I think that tempo of having a champion that's able to contest the mid game is really important, especially against a player like Pathetic. Because time and time again, he's so effective at getting slight leads in the early game and just silently, quietly, and steadily becoming such a huge threat in the mid game that I think a champion like Irelia is... Are they really going to go all cleanse? No way. A champion like Irelia is definitely really good for that. We'll see just how long they go with that. They are definitely doing this to troll us. I feel attacked as a caster right now. I'm just going to go ahead and say that.
One
dare
thing
they.
to note here, Upper Moons is going to switch because they're not going to send the Galio jungle. Wonder Ginger going back to one of his staples. Really his main two champions throughout the season have been the Galio and the Pantheon, things that give him those roaming options to the side lanes and can hold their own in the laning phase. So no real surprise there that he goes to that pick.
Yeah, I'm surprised they left it up actually. After Wonder Ginger ended up banning his own Pantheon, I thought it would be a really good choice.
Yeah, I almost would have liked.
They're gonna go for it, by the way.
I would have liked a
Full cleanse.
a ban thrown at the Galio as opposed to the Nautilus here. But
Never mind.
you know, just because like you can't ban away all the aggressive supports, but I feel like if you take out a staple mid laner there for Wonder Ginger, I think you just get a lot more out of that ban. They don't elect to do so. It is what it is. The interesting thing here, though, is there's a lot of engage from Upper Moons. You've got the Leona, you've got the Kled that can really start out the fights. You're going to get follow-up from Galio and Echo, and even the Ashe can throw out the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. So there's so many options from Upper Moons to start fights. Literally every single champion on Upper Moons brings hard CC to the table, and it means that one thing that we touch on every week. We always talk about it whenever Echo comes up because we mention how it struggled at the start of Worlds and basically fell out of the meta. Is you have to pick lanes with gank assist. He can rarely set up CC because it's so hard to get the parallel convergence off. You need gank assist, and Upper Moons has got that in spades. Humaniac is actually really well set up for success here with the team composition that Upper Moons has. That I think this Echo really has a great opportunity to succeed early to mid game.
So what I'm thinking about right now is which team is going to win this game. The chat is really, you guys are really putting me on the line here to pick a champion, a team that's going to win without actually seeing the game. I actually think that compositionally, I favor Upper Moon's draft because I'm a firm believer of strong, easy CC. Champions with really solidified, really concrete go buttons, I think are really effective in this level of play in competitive 5v5 League of Legends. But I think that Blanket Boys is slightly, ever so slightly, the stronger team from role to role. So I'm going to have to go with my boys, my Blanket Boys. They are the team that I'll be picking. Hoping I get some, I get that Doubt Spartan, that subscription.
Yeah,
eh?
who else is willing to put a subscription on the line here if Latman is right? Doubt Spartan says he'll sub if he's right. Anybody else willing to do it? Let's hear from you in chat. And I should say not if Upper Moons wins, if Blanket Boys wins, because the selection is Blanket Boys. I'll take Upper Moons because that's the only other choice I have. And you know what? Honestly, like, I think it's a really interesting look at the strength of these teams, which I think is super close, and the draft. And I think when you look at it and we talk about all the hard CC that's brought to the table and so many different options to start fights, Upper Moons has a really good composition, but it's just hard. We know Blanket Boys have been super successful. They've really been on a roll the last few weeks.
Yeah.
So who knows? We'll find out. I think it's going to be a great game. Obviously well set up here as they're in the winners finals facing off. And I cannot be more excited to see what these two teams bring to the table. It's always a bloodbath. It's always a very close game between these two. So we'll see how it shakes out. I'm super hyped. I want to see your guys' predictions in chat. Latman gave his. I'll take the other side. But whose side are you guys on? Who do you have? Blanket Boys or Upper Moons? Throw those down in chat. We want to see what you guys are thinking. Also, if you didn't see it earlier, feel free to vote in the straw poll. Tell me how Bjergsen's beard is better than mine, because I completely agree. Shout out to Kathy, converted from a Twitch Prime sub to a Tier 1 sub.
Let's go, Kathy. Way to show your support.
A lot of love. Go, Kathy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rock on.
10 Kits, we love Kathy.
Yeah, you can say that.
Well said, man. I don't have much more to add on to that.
What better, CC with 100 to 0 potential, or CC? What is better, CC with 100 to 0 potential, or CC with sustain?
That's what we're here to find out in this game, actually.
I feel like I just would rather 100 to 0 someone.
Yeah, I think it comes down to
like if I can just delete you, like I'd rather do that than walk the line of like risking it with like I have some CC but I have sustain and just see if I can outlast you. I would rather you just die.
It comes down to how flawless both teams are playing. If there's a lot of openings that are being shown, then 100 to 0 CC absolutely does win because you have a higher pick success rate. But if neither team is giving any openings, then CC with sustain is theoretically more optimal because you have better team fighting.
And a little more margin for error.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So we'll see. But ladies and gentlemen, we're on to the Rift. Upper Moons
Blanket
and
Boys going for a cheesy
Blanket
topside
Boys.
invade. Oh my goodness, this is awesome. You never see play or teams actually see each other like this.
Did they spot
They were
Gizzers?
spotted. Thresh
were.
actually just
Go
barely
for the
caught
clutch.
vision of them.
Go. Give me some action at level 1. Come on, Gizzers.
Get out of there, Upper Moons.
They know. Go. The collapse is coming from chat jungle. They're on the top of the red buff. They're actually going to just
No CC
escort
on the
them
top
to
side,
mid
though.
lane. Go. Gizzers take that sense. He
flash
flashes.
hook.
He hooks. Forces the flash out of you. Who? Maniac. That's flash for flash there at an interesting level 1, but no kills.
Yeah, that's actually the first time I've ever seen a level 1 where the red side team is going for a topside invade and blue side is actually going the long path around for a topside invade as well. That's actually a very rare permutation that you would see for an opening. Very spicy. Great presence of mind from Blanket Boys to send one person mid. I love that. That's the only reason that they were able to get at least a chance for a net gain in that level 1 situation. Really great call on their part. I do believe so. However, I do want to say that flash for flash, jungle for support, I think that's a net gain for Blanket Boys. I think the flash on the jungler on Yuhu Maniac this early in the game is definitely less valuable than the flash on Thresh, especially against a Leona lane. Wow, already in the first minute, a great opening.
Yeah, Yuhu Maniac actually gets the leash there a little bit from Pathetic. Pathetic gets the lane very, very late here. He's actually going to miss a few CS, it would appear. So early advantage to Blanket Boys.
As long as he didn't miss any experience, it's not that big of a deal. I think a strong leash on your jungler is totally worth it. Especially when it's a jungler like Yuhu Maniac, one of the stronger junglers in the tournament. But if he did end up losing experience points for that leash, that's going to hurt him really hard in this kind of lane. It looks like it ended up not hurting him too hard.
Oh, this is an early gank to the top side. Good job from Factor to get the stun onto Pathetic, but he's going to walk right into the parallel conversions, just able to juke out of it, so no stun for Yuhu Maniac. He's going to get the slow with his Q, but Factor is able to get out of trouble without even spending his flash.
Beautiful play. Beautiful way to play around that gank from the Irelia. Really impressive stuff. Thresh going for the hook, lands it on a minion. Going to go ahead and count that as a land. Great hook.
We're not keeping track this time. Promise. Meanwhile, topside, Pathetic is going to get stunned once more. He's going to be forced to dismount. But Factor was actually near 100 health there, so grand scheme of things, Pathetic is feeling pretty good about that.
At least in Echo are meeting themselves in the jungle right now. At least does barely get that blue buff. Yuhu Maniac's going to find himself slightly behind on tempo now.
Pathetic just trying to work on his remount here on the Kled as Factor. Doing all right, just trying to get a bit of sustain here. He does have the Corrupting Potion to try and heal himself back up. He's got full mana, so he's got the abilities to use here. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, a little bit of a push here from Qatar and Juicy.
At least ganking topside.
Pathetic's in trouble. He's going to look for the remount. He does get it in the Cocoon will miss there, so Pathetic gets away from trouble.
Okay, I'm actually really upset about that gank. Elise was definitely going for a bit of a style play there by just standing still and trying to bait out a movement from Kled so that he can land Cocoon on Kled's sidestep. But he had red buff. All he had to do was auto once, walk forward. Everything from that point on gets so much easier if you just apply the red buff first and then walk forward and close the distance while they're slowed. The fact that he stood there without actually autoing at all, just waiting for a Cocoon, that's pretty bad mannered in my opinion, in a bad way.
Gizzers just throws the Death Sense into the minion here. Good parallel convergence from Yuhu Maniac, catches two. That means first blood for Qatar.
At least here for the gank on mid lane though.
Yeah, that's going to be the Cocoon landing on a Wonder Ginger.
Great
the
block.
Justice Punch is going to be blocked. He's burning from the Ignite. It shouldn't be enough damage to take him down, but a great gank there forces the flash out of the Galio.
And so I just want to say, really good map movement from Yuhu Maniac. After applying some pressure to the top side early on in the game, he makes sure that he rotates over to the bot side just in time to punish that flashless Thresh. Definitely really good presence of mind on being able to punish these flash timers from Blanket Boys. Making good usage of his Leona as well. On the other side, Chad Jungle visiting the mid lane, very effective gank, don't get me wrong. Execution was just about as good as it gets, but it is a Galio. So it's only natural that the Galio would be able to barely get out of there alive.
So I'm curious, Latman, what do you call a goat with a beard?
What do you call a goat with a beard?
Yep.
Yeso?
I don't have the...
Yeso not in October?
November, but...
Oh yeah, it is November, huh?
I don't know, Doubt Spartan will tell us.
Mango?
Oh,
goatee.
A goatee. There it is. I should have known that. That's pretty good, though.
That's a good one.
Chad Jungle. Don't tell me we're going to get another
again?
Jungler dying to a camp.
And
Wait,
it's
Wonder
the
Ginger gets the kill. Oh, no, that's a feels bad. Wonder Ginger's got to love that. Somebody needs to be like me picking the Raptor camp right there. He's got to be so confused.
I am baffled that actually happened. Two games in the same evening, and he's dying to a jungle camp.
Because let's be clear, Wonder Ginger gets the kill credit, but that is an execution to a camp.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's like, that's not, oh my gosh. He should live. Yeah, flash for flash, not that bad for the Irelia. Definitely pushing her limits there to clear the wave. Echo going for a gank here on mid lane, but he is spotted out.
Oh, they're going to get the collapse here. Good Cocoon there. There's the ultimate for Pharrell Lord, and down goes Yuhu Maniac. Blanket Boys is on the board.
Dude, how does Chad Jungle die to camps over and over, but then, like, It's like nothing ever happened. Like he just gets back onto the map and
Gizzards,
lands
they
a
can
kill
see
like
you,
right
dude.
after.
They saw you, bro. That minion pushed up far enough. They saw you.
Gizzards, be steadfast, man.
Be aggressive.
Be
aggressive.
Be. Why did I join in? Actually, that's a good movie though. To be fair, the last one was terrible, but Mean Girls is a good movie. Was that from Mean Girls?
I couldn't tell you, man.
Pretty sure it was. Looks like Irelia does have a bit of a tempo advantage in the top lane, but it is a Kled. Pretty hard to actually take advantage of that and land a kill in that lane. That's
Going aggressively on a factor. He misses the stun. And interestingly enough, this lane going great for Pathetic right now. Hasn't gotten any kills, but he's feeling just fine. Chad Jungle's here. He's going to look for the kill. Here comes the ult from the Galio. The hero's entrance is on his way. Yuhumianek, though, in big trouble. For Ellenlord looking for the kill. He's going to take it. Here comes another teleport. His Wonder Ginger. He's in a big trouble. Sorry. The CLG factor is going to take that kill. Pathetic is going to be forced to dismount. So much damage coming out for Ellenlord. Grabs a second kill and a huge swing in favor of Blanket Boys.
Beautiful, beautiful way of punishing, having that knowledge of that second buff spawn timing from Blanket Boys. Something that they used to do over and over on the bot side when their bot lane is free to make that movement. However, this game, you know, Thresh was actually killed earlier on in the laning phase. He's a little bit behind on tempo with his flash, so they weren't able to make the play happen on the blue buff spawn. No matter, they see that they have tempo advantage on top side. Irelia was slightly ahead of tempo against the Kled on top side, so they go ahead and switch that game plan over to the top side of the map and punish on the red buff spawn instead. This is a tried and true tactic from Blanket Boys and something that I really do love seeing in their play.
Kathy says, I thought that was from Bring It On, not Mean Girls. Don't know, couldn't tell you, haven't seen either movies.
I've seen Mean Girls plenty of times.
But if anybody has done the research, let us know.
I don't know. Yeah, what do you mean? Have you heard Petty?
No. Petty, what is that, a song?
I feel like this is another. It's one of those goatee jokes.
I gotta say, I don't know if you guys can hear this, but my stomach is growling down here. I think I'm hungry.
Yeah?
I'm hungry for kills. This game isn't bloody enough for my taste. We're 9 minutes in. I only got 6 kills. I need to see blood, people. Come on.
I'm pretty satisfied.
These are our 2 best teams in like the bloodiest league on earth.
That actually might be close to accurate.
There's a whole scene of people trying out for a cheerleader spot, and that's one of them. Hey, I mean, I'll take your word for it, Kathy. I trust your wisdom.
I trust our producers' wisdom.
This is why you're behind the glass and we aren't.
Exactly.
Okay?
It's not like if I said that I didn't trust their wisdom.
We're just good at yelling about video games.
Yeah.
That's our job.
The thing I do want to point out is Blanket Boys has been freezing this bot lane for quite a while now. It looks like the Kai'Sa was thinking of building. That's a really interesting build, actually. Oh, at least landing another gank on mid lane doesn't look like it's going to amount to too much.
What? Wonder Ginger. That's aggressive from Pharrell Lord. Hey, I said I wanted more kills. They're going to go for it. Chad Jungle taking a lot of damage here. Pharrell Lord is in trouble. He's going to get collapsed on. That's going to be the shutdown for the Ashe. Chad Jungle is burning. That's the Enchanted Crystal Arrow and a double kill for Qatar. Meanwhile, topside Factor takes down Pathetic. And they're answering my prayers, ladies and gentlemen. That's 3 kills. And now a Drake for Upper Moon.
It's like they literally heard you and they were like, okay, you want kills?
Fine.
Let's give it to him.
Wait, we get it.
Like that was very, very questionable. I saw that he probably saw a teleport behind him coming out from Pathetic. That teleport ended up getting canceled by the Irelia. But maybe he saw that teleport and figured, okay, can't go forward or can't go backward, only forward. And you know, frankly, I do support that mentality. The only way is generally forward. If you had to choose a direction between backward and forward, you should go forward. But not when you're a Syndra against a Galio under tower. That's definitely not a situation where you're probably going to get a kill. Upper Moon's doing a great job of punishing that. They do end up getting a dragon for Blanket Boys' mistake. But good on CLG Factor to be able to equalize that trade-off and be able to get that solo kill on top lane.
I hope I'm a good noodle. I want my gold star.
It's definitely from Bring It On. All right, thank you. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
I guess I've seen
we
that
didn't know.
Too.
That's why we need help from you guys in chat, everybody in production. I'll dab on the haters, Kathy. You tell them.
Well, them in that situation is us.
Are we the haters? No, we weren't hating. We just said we didn't know.
Yeah, I feel like
I'm not a hater. Love Kathy.
Wow.
Kathy is bae.
We're getting roasted on here.
Yes.
You're
I mean,
not,
what's new?
'cause you're, oh,
Chad Jungle's in big trouble. Here comes the collapse from Upper Moons and Wonder Ginger. He's going to earn that kill on Chad Jungle.
yeah, just a
That's
few
nice.
missteps from Blanket Boys, and all of a sudden this game is just about equalized. Upper Moon's definitely doing a great job of taking advantage. Looks like Irelia might be cut out here, but she does have flash available.
Yeah, Factor trying to dash away from trouble. Good stun there. Actually, Kazastu maybe turns this around. Ultimate from Maniac will kind of reset this fight, and Factor's got to run. He's going to get slowed by the Cuba. Can he get away? Flashes over the wall, uses the Blast Cone, and Factor's going to be just fine.
Actually, Blast Cone's still up. I think she's using it to hit the plant just now. She's going to go ahead and heal back up. She should be able to 1v1 the Kled now.
Good cleanse there from Maestro. Gets hit by the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, but immediately cleanses out of that. Blanket Boys can disengage.
He's going to take that trade.
Good flash to avoid the stun, but it may not even matter. He's going to get the remount, but he's still low on health here. Pathetic. Can he get it? No, he will not. Factor grabs the kill.
Phenomenal play coming out from Factor. The one thing he had to do in that entire all-in was to dodge that Kled lasso, and he ends up doing it in like the very last moment. Very excellent mechanical play coming out of him. Chad Jungle looking like he will not get away. Burn barely gets him.
Maniac spends the flash there. You had the red buff, my friend. He didn't need to do that. It's okay.
And you know, I think one thing that's worth pointing out here is, yeah, this kill score is 6-6. It's just about even in gold. This is all true. But if you look at where those kills are being distributed, on Upper Moons, it's a pretty even distribution. Very concerning sign that those kills are mostly on their top laner. That's actually a lane that will start to become uncontrollable in the mid game, as he is against an Irelia. On the other side of the map, Blanket Boys' deaths are mostly focused on their jungler. Yeah, that's a pretty rough place to be if you are the jungler. But if you're the laners, you should feel pretty good about the fact that you have all these deaths, but they're all on one person, and that person's either the jungler or the support. Definitely is an indicator that they should have control of the game going into the mid game.
Kathy, are you asking about pro players or late night league players? Anybody? Well, if I'm going late night league players, I would say Kha'Zix is pretty iconic for Chad Jungle. He had his pentakill on it in the Season 2 finals, so that's one that definitely stands out for me. When I think of Stun Daddy, I think of Leona. When I think of Draven, it's definitely Int-Man. In terms of pro players, it's like Bard or Alistar for Afro Moo. Bjergsen, I think of Syndra.
I think of, when I see Thresh, I think of Gizzers.
Yeah.
Syndra for
I think
Lord.
of Mad Life, but sure.
Galio, Pantheon, Wonder Ginger every time.
Yep, definitely.
Literally every time.
Yep.
Int-Man, classic Xayah.
Not the Draven?
I only ever saw him on Xayah. I've seen his Draven like maybe once to like maybe 5 or 6 Xayah games.
Maniac, I think of the Master Yi.
Yeah. Master Yi,
Master Yi or the Kai'Sa.
The Kai'Sa, yeah. That one Kai'Sa game will always have a place in my heart.
Always stick out in my mind.
Yeah.
Blanket Boys are
Arrow
in the
coming
mid
down
lane.
a bit. He actually flashes both of those ultimates.
They're trying to cancel the Rift here. They will get the charge here, but it will immediately go down.
Lands the
Gizzer's
hook as well.
good hook. Does he
No
go? And
follow-up,
he
though.
doesn't. Justice punch forward from Wonder Ginger, but no follow-up from the team means that Upper Moons will just back away. Frelner
The
looking
thing
for a
is,
pick
on the
with the
backside of
scatter
all
of the
this,
week.
Blanket Boys is pushing bot side while they were able to successfully disengage Upper Moons engage on mid. So this overall should be a net positive gain for Blanket Boys. Unless they face check that Leona.
Yeah, but Upper Moons kind of walks out of vision here, so Maestro has to back away from trouble. Wonder Ginger well-timed on the Justice Punch there, gets out of trouble, but Juicy stepping forward, does get the stun on a Gizzers, and here comes Parallel Convergence, but it's not going to lock anybody down, and that's actually a good cocoon from Chad Jungle to stall out Maniac. They're going to clear out this wave, and now, ooh, Maestro, you might want to back away.
He's just about finished clearing off that mini wave. He should be able to get out just in time. Will be a Dragon trade-off for their efforts. I think overall, not the best outcome for Blanket Boys because they actually didn't really get that much damage done on bot lane tower, and there were no tower plating stacks that were taken. However, getting your Kai'Sa an accelerated 2-item power spike, totally worth it. They have complete control of the top side of the map as well. So, and they didn't lose any kills or tower damage in the mid lane. So overall, I think that was still macro-wise a pretty decent trade for Blanket Boys.
Yeah, it just felt like Blanket Boys needed to force the issue a little more in mid. to open up space for Maestro in the bottom lane, because Maestro really never felt comfortable enough to press up to the tower. He just cleared the wave and continued to back off. And I feel like if you just try and force something a little more in mid, try and set up for a death sentence and look for a kill, then it just means Upper Moons can't rotate out of mid lane, and Maestro has more room to play with the bottom side and try and threaten that tower. So a little too passive from Blanket Boys means that the Kai'Sa doesn't have the room to work bot side. Meanwhile, Wonder Ginger's going to go in here, but Pharrell Lord is in the brush. It's the 3v3, making the 4v3. Wonder Ginger's burning from the Ignite. That's a kill for Pharrell Lord. Ooh, there's the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, but a good cleanse from Maestro, and here comes the rest of the team.
Great
Good double stun from
boys.
Factor, and here comes the turnaround. Down goes the Ashe as Qatar has fallen. Juicy goes down as well. It's a double kill for Factor. He's looking for a third. Make it the triple as the Aurelia is running for his life.
With that Kled too.
Pathetic with the charge, but he's not going to get much out of it. He's going to get stunned. He's going to get dismounted. He's thrown into the bounce house, and the ace for Blanket Boys as they take the bottom tower.
Wow. Such phenomenal turning and kiting of that team fight from Blanket Boys, making just enough time for Factor to come in and help clean up that fight. On the back end of all of that, Elise, of all champions, the jungler is the one splitting the splitting the map, split pushing that top lane. Definitely would never really expect to see that, but it looks like it's effective here considering how strong Blanket Boys is at team fighting. That was just a beautiful fight. I'm really so impressed so far by CLG Factor's Irelia play. Really a standout player in this game.
The timing was so perfect in that fight. Gets in, gets the double stun as Upper Moons kind of tries to set up for a re-engage there. So Upper Moons was looking to get back in, see if they could turn that fight. Pathetic comes in, immediately denies it, gets a quick 2 kills, goes for the dive to grab the third, and then gets out and helps set up the kill onto Pathetic. So such a huge play there from Factor. Now 6-0-2. He's got the Trinity Force. He's got the Tiamat, finished his boots, and now looking for what I would assume is a the Magic Resist. That's a Wit's End.
Wit's End.
Looking for a Wit's End, I would assume, next. So this really is looking pretty scary right about now.
Yeah, I think you're just about right. Probably, almost definitely going to be a Wit's End coming from the Irelia. Another hook landing on Leona here. That actually might be a dead Leona with the Syndra ult.
Yeah, even the Solar Flare comes down, but it doesn't matter. Pharrell Lord able to take down Juicy there at the 12th kill for Blanket Boys, and they're now pushing in mid lane. So now they've got the 1-4 setup that you really want. Chad Jungle's back with the team. They've got Factor in the side lane, but it looks like the team's just going to rotate over to the bottom lane.
I think they have a pick on Echo here, but it is an Echo. I don't think that was really going to be all that fruitful. They will go ahead and opt for the blue tower take, but I think you're right. I think it would have been better for them to have stayed mid and pressured with that mini wave, possibly get a pick with their 4-man advantage in the mid lane. Jungle landing some CC, a good scatter of the week.
And they actually force out the ultimate from Yuhu Maniac. That's huge. They also avoid the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Good stun from Factor. They don't dive under the tower. But still, the poke is looking good from Blanket Boys. And the Echo's inability to reset a fight with his ultimate is actually huge coming in here. As Pathetic nearly dismounted here just with the poke. Because they're stepping forward, looking for another death sentence. Good stun there from Pharrell Lord, but they'll back away once more. Blanket Boys really walking a fine line here. Ooh, flash play from Gizzers. Here comes Wonder Ginger. Justice punching out of trouble. Here comes the ultimate. Shiro's entrance is on his way. Gizzers goes down. Yuhu Maniac's got a kill. Does Upper Moon stay, though? They've got fairly low health bars, and Blanket Boys is actually pretty healthy here. Pharrell Lord look for the stun. Wonder Ginger avoids it with the Justice Punch.
Irelia is really itching for a fight here. She does not want to be grouped without making something happen.
Oh, good Solar Flare. Chad Jungle's in trouble. That's 1 kill. Here comes the re-engage from Upper Moons. Factor trying to back away, but it's a shutdown of Pharrell Lord. Factor has to run. The Kai'Sa is dead. It's just Factor here, and it's an ace for Upper Moons.
They may be able to get a Baron off of the back of that ace. It looks like Blanket Boys does have long death timers.
They're pinging
the only
onto
person
it.
with TP is Factor, but his TP is down. This may have been a huge throw coming out of Blanket Boys. Doesn't look like Upper Moons will go for that Baron. However, getting a full team ace when you were that behind, totally not anything to complain about.
Yeah, Upper Moon's pinged onto it. They thought about it, but I think they've reconsidered just considering the death timers, which I think is the right decision. They get a little bit of pressure in mid. They'll set up around the Drake here. It'll be their second Mountain Drake, so I actually think this is a great decision.
Yeah.
Be patient with the Baron. You secured double Mountain right now on top of an Ocean, and now your Baron threat is huge. You don't take Baron that quickly. The Ashe is fairly good at burning down Baron, but Wonder Ginger and Pathetic don't do a ton of work against that target. But when you add on a double Mountain on top of that, it should be a pretty quick take from Upper Moons. But they actually just back away Wow, I don't know about this. Upper Moons, I feel like you should have just immediately gone into the red side jungle, dropped down some wards, and set up for the Drake. Instead, they just give away a free Drake. Blanket Boys just got aced, and they get to come back and just take a Drake.
Well, I think the problem was the Drake spawn timing was actually just a little bit too late, such that if Upper Moons did stay and commit for that Drake, they will be sacrificing complete Baron control to Blanket Boys. Maybe Blanket Boys would not have been able to get a counter Baron with that, but they do have a strong enough team composition in the Syndra, in the Thresh, that giving them complete Baron control and control of your topside jungle is nearly fatal. Definitely a lethal move on Blanket Boy's part. Here we see that Upper Moons actually does end up giving or conceding that vision control to Blanket Boys anyway. So maybe it would have been worth to go ahead and sacrifice a bit of tempo for that Baron take.
Oh, good death sentence over the wall. They're going to catch out Juicy. The CC chain rings true.
There it is.
And Maestro takes the kill. And now Blanket Boys are looking for the Baron themselves. They've all grouped up on it. Kaisa takes down Baron very quickly, but the thing they're going to have to worry about, Maniac is nearby, and he may look for the steal. He's over the wall. Baron's at 3,000 health. Good enchanted crystal arrow over the wall, but a beautiful hook from Kissers, and the Baron goes to Blanket Boys. But here comes Wonder Ginger. They've taken out Pathetic. Qatar firing over the wall, but Factor's going to get right onto the edge. He's trying to cut away. He actually does a good job as he really goes down, but Maestro's still alive. The Acathian Rain is doing work. The auto attacks as well make it a quadra kill for the Kaisa, and a huge fight and an ace for Blanket Boys.
Way to get in there from Maestro. Following up on CLG Factors, I really did lead the charge there on and actually dove to her death on the Ashe, having faith in the fact that her Kaisa would be able to come in with her and finish off those kills. Great play from Maestro, from Blanket Boys as a whole, and looks like they would be able to take this inhibitor relatively unchallenged.
Huge play there from Blanket Boys, and a ton of credit for Gizzers. Actually well timed on the death sense to grab Maniac as soon as he E'd over the wall into the pit. It meant that the Echo had so little margin for error there for the smite steal. He isn't able to get it. Chad Jungle secures the Baron. Blanket Boys secures the fight. They take the middle inhibitor, and now they are well set up for a victory here. A 7,000 gold lead for Blanket Boys.
Yeah, just once again, I do want to point out earlier that Blanket Boys' only mistake in this game thus far was when they had Irelia in that 4-1 position. Something that you pointed out was one of their most ideal situations in the game. To have 4 people mid, Irelia pressuring that side lane tower, and then just keep looking for picks with the Syndra Thresh in mid lane. The one moment that they had the Irelia group up at mid lane was perhaps the only moment in this game that they really truly gave Upper Moons a chance to take control of the map. But besides that, Blanket Boys has shown such phenomenal control of objectives and such phenomenal team fighting that it's really looking like this game is all but in the bag for them. They are just looking in such good form.
Kills are fairly close between these teams, though, so Upper Moons has been taking their fair share of fights, but Blanket Boys certainly with a significant lead right now, and Maestro is absolutely terrifying on this guy. So, but here comes the charge on the top lane, and they're going to try and collapse and take down Factor. Chad Jungle is here for the help, but he's just going to run right away. Good stopwatch there to avoid the enchanted crystal arrow, but it will not matter as down goes Factor, but he's just buying time. Meanwhile, Maestro and Gizzers are down in the bottom lane. They're going to take the bottom lane inhibitor. They're buffing up all these minions that are just spilling into the base right now. They'll back away because Upper Moons is respawning, but a good counterplay from Blanket Boys.
Yeah, really good usage of really good ability of making use of your top laner's pressure in that situation. Some teams may have seen Irelia getting so hard engaged on to that kind of extent on the top side and decided, oh, we need to go up there and help her. But Blanket Boys does a great job of keeping that split map control going throughout the entire mid game. Seeing that the Upper Moons is committing that many members to the top side on Irelia and deciding that, hey, we're just gonna go ahead and take the other side of the map. Great play from Blanket Boys so far in the mid game.
They're going to take the top lane tier 2. Now it's an 8-0 lead in towers. The one thing to note, if Upper Moons can get a good fight, there's a lot of standing gold on the map to close this 7,000 gold lead, but it's just been so difficult because Blanket Boys is looking so clean, playing around the death sentences, around the picks here. That one's going to miss for Gizzers, but Blanket Boys could just retreat and grab that next wave. They're going to buff it up with Baron and look to continue the pressure. That's a good hook on a
Irelia
Pathetic.
landing.
Good stun there from Pharrell, but here comes Wonder Ginger. Good play to keep them off of the backline, and Blanket Boys is looking for the kills, but Factor goes down to Qatar. Upper Moon's looking to turn it around. Good cleanse there as Maestro's going to take down the end, and he's still alive, but Upper Moon's is fighting back. Gizzers is dead. It's just Maestro and Chad Jungle. Maniac looking for these low health targets, but Maestro is firing away. That's a double kill there, and Upper Moon's will have to back off. It's still a win for them. 3 for 2 in their favor, but they may still lose their inhibitor.
Wow, Irelia really did take going in for your team to heart there. The idea of collectivism. She really went in and just sacrificed her life at the very start of that team fight, just for the sole purpose of giving giving Kai'Sa some sort of front line, as Upperman's going for this hard engage onto Blanket Boys.
Maestro is so strong right now. Chad Jungle's gonna go down, but the Kai'Sa is still a significant threat. Maestro is gonna finally have to leave the base as he is all by himself, but they're still able to take out a Nexus turret and just get so many waves in here. Upper Moon's base is in shambles right now.
It really is. 3 inhibitors down, and I think a big part of this game thus far is solely the idea of how strong of an AD carry Kai'Sa really is. She is doing such a great job of making use of this Irelia's pressure in teamfights. Irelia really is maybe not making the best usage of her build. The fact that she did build this Wit's End, she might have been better off with Asterix Gage considering the way that she's playing out these teamfights. But the idea is, her team needs someone to be going in that hard and to be making sure that that Kai'Sa is not getting bursted down in the opening phases of these team fights. And Irelia is doing a great job of making sure that that target ends up being her. Maestro, on the other hand of that, has to make sure that he actually makes use of that space that Irelia is creating for him by either being aggressive at the right times or by conserving enough of his HP in the opening phase of the team fight to be able to close it out efficiently. And he's doing a great job of that. 2 team fights ago, he did a phenomenal job at the Baron team fight of going in with the Irelia and finishing out the team fight for her when she sacrificed her life for him. And in that last team fight, he did a great job of staying positioned towards the very end of the fight. And then even when he had 200, 300 HP, he ran back into the fight and finished off a kill on the Echo, even throwing himself into Galio's face for that kill.
Oh, there's a good Enchanted Crystal Arrow to Maestro. Lord taking a lot of damage as the reset comes through from Yuhuminic, but Maestro is still firing away. Wonder Ginger trying to take him down, but it's not enough. The shield from the Killer Instinct keeps Maestro alive. Few of his teammates are dead. It's just the bottom lane left. Pathetic trying to get onto the Kai'Sa, but it may not be enough. It's just Maestro. 1v2. Does he have the damage? The Acathian Rain doing a lot. Parallel conversions though. Should get the stun. It's the triple kill. Is it enough? There's the stun for Yuhuminic. He doesn't have the damage though.
No damage.
Maestro grabs the kill. It's a quadra kill. The second one of the game for Maestro, and he's just got himself a Mingyu Wave and a Nexus between him and the win. Blanket Boys take the W. Latman takes a point, and Esports Arena will take that sub. Doubt Spartan.
Yeah! making some sub money for my employers. Thank you very much, Doubt Spartan. Thanks for playing in this betting war that we have here.
Yeah.
Evening out the score between me and JC.
2-2.
Always happy about that. And wow, what a great game.
Dude, that was insane, and it really felt like nobody was ever out of that game. We are going to drop right into our next one, though. Fruitcake versus Titan Gaming, and we're right into the action here as Agani is running for his life. A little bit of a role swap here from Fruitcake as they've moved everybody around.
A little bit of a role swap. Yeah. We have Agani, who's typically the support playing in top lane. Urashi, who's typically the jungler playing in support, and Fruitcake, who's typically the top laner playing in jungle. I think that's all accurate, right? Just want to make sure.
So yeah, so last time around we had Fruitcake top, Agani support, and Urashi was in jungle.
Okay.
Remember, Urashi I think played the Lee Sin. We had Agani on the Thresh.
That's right.
And we had Fruitcake on the Rise last time that we saw Fruitcake. So.
I just want to point out, Doubt Spartan, thank you for following your end of the bet. You're a man of your word and a man of honor.
And hey, it's worthwhile. Get to be a sub, get the emotes, get to support us here at Esports Arena. We certainly appreciate it. Meanwhile, Fruitcake here, running away. Good job to avoid the engage there from Stun Daddy. The Rift Herald is going to go down here, and it's still a 13,000 gold lead, though, for Fruitcake as they're trying to threaten this bottom lane inhibitor. Fruitcake's going to jump in. That's a little aggressive, but a good hook on a stun daddy. Urashi going to set up the kill for Hitman there. And there's the ultimate from Urashi. Make it a double kill for the Tristana. T-Train's going to take one kill, but he'll go down right after. Is that the triple for Hitman? Down goes the Cossacks. Make it an ace for Fruitcake as they're looking to push into the base.
Wow, I have never seen a Cossacks jump Q do so little damage on an AD carry. I was totally expecting Tristana to die there. I don't know if it was because Cossacks ended up queuing another target on accident or if he's just that far behind in this game, but looking like this should be a relatively open base for Titan Gaming. Fruitcake really is going to be able to take these two inhibitors relatively uncontested. Also, Big Boy Gaming, that was a great IRL game you played in that last game, my good sir.
Mid lane inhibitor will fall as well as bottom lane. Fruitcake also going to just rotate right up to the top side. They're trying to take all 3 inhibitors here in quick succession. Cal trying to set something up there with the ultimate, but it's going to get pulled in. A lot of damage, though, on to T-Train, and down goes the Mordekaiser as Intman is able to rocket jump away, but still goes down to the ignite of Stun Daddy. Norcal trying to run away, should not be able to escape. The laser from Zackrai will finish it off, but Agani and Urashi still in the base here, and I don't know if that was the right choice here. Stun Daddy taking a lot of damage here. Agani gonna grab that kill. Xeno trying to get away from Urashi, but that's just a dredge line away from setting up that kill. Make that a double for Agani. Looking for the triple. It is the Aatrox takes down the Misfortune. The Drake goes down to Fruitcake, and here comes Fruitcake, the team, pushing into the base.
That looked so funny. Titan Gaming was trying to get through Fruitcake to get back into their own base, but Fruitcake zoning them away from their own fountain, meeting them at the inhibitor, being like, nope, you cannot go this way. You gotta walk away from your own towers. Rengar going in with a one shot.
By Zorelius, just gets deleted there by Fruitcake as T-Train's trying to chase down the Rengar here. Will avoid the Bola. He doesn't have the damage though, and he's gonna go down the Rengar with another kill here. And the towers are in trouble. The second Nexus tower will fall. The Nexus is exposed. Titan Gaming throwing up their best defense as Urashi goes down. Fruitcake trying to do the damage here. Agani, you're tanking up. Just go in, my friend. You can finish this off. Gonna get the knockup and a stun daddy. There's the second one. Down goes the Rengar, but here comes the ultimate for Agani. Stun Daddy's gonna drop it, man, just firing away. Rocket jumping in, looking for more, making a double kill. Make it 3 as Agani's gonna take that kill. The Rocket jump into the fountain. That was a little much as Hitman lives up to his name there. Gives another kill over. Meanwhile, Agani is going to be taken into the death realm here by T-Train, but Mordekaiser's not winning this fight. Agani is going to come right back out. The Nexus is going to fall, and the win is going to go to Fruitcake.
Wow. As soon as we started spectating that game, there was pretty much non-stop action that entire way through and through. Not quite as close of a game as the last one that we did see, but I'm always happy to see 3 minutes straight of a bloodbath.
Sip of water.
Yeah, you were basically talking non-stop there. That was some pretty phenomenal play-by-play casting from my good sir right here. Yeah. I think it's the
vocal cords love it. It's
the
mustache.
It gives you, like, I don't know, pliability of the mouth, aerodynamicity.
It like it reduces reduces drag.
That's what I'm saying.
It makes me more aerodynamic.
Yeah, exactly.
That's probably totally counterintuitive. Like the mustache probably it actually does the exact opposite of that. But hey, it works in our little casting fantasy.
Yeah,
we're putting together here.
Yeah.
Gonna get an update here from production in just a moment. I think we're about ready for a break so that we can get up and stretch our legs. But they'll let us know here in just a moment. But we've had a very interesting day of games so far. We're tied up in bets here 2-2, so I would say we have to go to one more game, but they'll tell us. But it is tied 2-2 right now, and Blanket Boys move on to the grand final. That means that Upper Moons heads down to the losers bracket final, and we'll see. I mean, Fruitcake moves on. They have they're one step closer to a shot at redemption against Upper Moons. And that would be really, really interesting.
Yeah, the storyline is playing itself out. We have some really great games coming up ahead, but
we are going to close out for the day, folks. It's been a long day. Shout out to production for all the work that they put in every week. Love you guys. You do a great job and make things easy for us because we just get to sit here and just talk about video games all day.
We suck at all that.
I wouldn't call this work.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for coming to join us here every week. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We had a blast casting for you guys today. Thank you to all our players coming on every week as well. You guys make this really, really fun for us. But that's going to close it out. Remember, just to update you guys here before we end up, it's double points this week and next. So teams are looking to close the gap here and set up for the grand finals. It will be 2 weeks from tonight. Make sure to tune in next week to get an update on where we're sitting at for our standings and to see our final week of regular season play, where we will decide who moves on to our grand finals in week 8. Any closing thoughts, Latman?
Just some really phenomenal games on the back end of tonight. Some very nice old-fashioned late-night league bloodbaths to start out the day.
Yes.
Really getting my fill of plenty of kills in League of Legends. Once again, really appreciate all you guys coming out and playing, all you guys coming out and watching. Doubt Spartan, shout out to you. Thanks for the subscription.
Thank you. Thank you.
It looks like we're going to be ending the night on a tie. I'm all right with that.
I can live with it.
Yeah, it's okay. Good game. That just means I'm still net ahead. That means
I don't know about that. We'll decide this at a later date.
1-0.
We will decide this at a later date.
I
But
love
that's
to
going
say
to do it for
decide.
us, folks. Thank you so much for joining us. For myself, Latman, the entire live broadcast crew, and everybody from Esports Arena, I want to thank you guys so much for joining us this week. We'll see you guys again next time.